Let's go. Start the countdown. Let's go.
Come on.
Yeah, man. So obviously we won the game, but
The final word.
what's wrong, man? Did we win?
Man.
God dog.
It felt like a loss, right?
Yeah, it does, man.
Yeah.
I think it's some good and bad in it, though.
Hey, when you pray for rain, you gotta deal with the mud, too.
It's real talk.
Yeah.
I think we just hungry, bro. I think the fans are just...
The final word.
I think we just hungry, bro. That's the
Man,
only thing
hello.
I can think. Yeah, I think we just so hungry for this championship.
Yep.
I think we getting in, keeping it all the way.
The final word. Then you got other things that's stirring up the pot too. The final word.
Yeah, like the national media.
Yeah, the national media, and they stir up the pot too.
Yeah. I just wish we could see through that, bro. I really do. I really wish we could see through that. Yeah. Don't share the video to Twitter yet. I gotta change the title, man. Something going wrong with my title.
The final word.
So, I know I'm talking to the people that they start sharing my stuff early.
The final word. The final word. The final word. The final
I gotta
word.
change the title, y'all. Y'all give me a second.
The final
But
word.
yeah, man, I think you're right. I think it's the propaganda that's going on, bro. I think that's real. Mm-hmm.
And then we gotta contextualize sensationalism is a real thing, though.
Yeah, it is. It is. They playing
The
us.
final word.
So, because I was looking at some of Kansas City losses. They lost to the Colts. You
Right.
think they over there panicking? You think they over there?
Nah.
Oh, the sky's falling. Nah, they chilling, bro.
The Bills lost to the Vikings, and then we blew them out. We blew the Vikings out. Not a word, you know?
Right, yeah. So we not making no excuses, but we also like, hey, man, we gonna move on from this.
Word. And I get it.
That's simple.
Validation is only good for parking.
Facts. All the way facts, big dog. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of them things. I just, we go pull it together, Cowboy Nation. We go pull it together, man. Yes, we are.
Yep.
And Big Game James on his way. So is the OC. So we holding it down until they get here. Trust me, we already ready to go. We go get it. Yep.
Come on. Shout out to you, Rev, man. Appreciate you for the support. He says, let's go, Law Nation, with the $2 super chat. The final word.
That's
the final word.
Appreciate the super chat, big homie. Showing love. Always. We appreciate
The final word.
Always.
The final word.
So yeah, Law, I saw you've been bringing it, bro.
Man. I tried to, man. In my physical form, let it be known I'm troublesome.
Yeah, you've been putting out some good content, bro. We all appreciate that.
Appreciate
Real talk. Real talk. All right, man, we finna kick it out, bro.
The final word.
There it is. It's looking real good up in here. Let's go. All right, here we go. The tunnel, baby.
Yeah. And we don't have tunnel vision. No.
Let's run it up.
Hey. That's all I want to do, run it up.
Yeah.
I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately I just wanna run it
It's
up.
on the Facebook.
Go ahead, Law.
Come on. Shout out to you, Joseph, on the Facebook. Sims. Everybody that's here, let's run it up, baby.
Let's run it up, man. Throw them flames in the chat. Let's go. Let's go, man. And I see you, Life Crazy. Aaron. He said, I want to see the hoodie OC. He likely coming. What's going on? Calm down. All right, Cass and Cowboy, I see you. Bob, Richard, Keystone,
You switch sides on for the
Smitty
bag, and
Rock,
that's what
what's
more to
going
me.
on?
I
Let's
mix
go.
Nike with designer, I
Queen,
experiment.
Chris,
You just rock what's on the
LD.
shelf and I'm not feeling it.
I see you,
Search for
brother.
the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this.
All
It's
right,
nothing
audio
really.
check.
So I keep a hammer,
Somebody
call
said
it
they
to
couldn't
the
hear
gym.
me, but I feel that they can hear the nation. Come on.
Let's go.
Yo.
Hey, man, it's Boss and Law. So, man, like, so Big Game James not here, so we go kick it off with you, Law, man. What's on your mind, big dog?
Well, man, we 10-3. I'm happy about the win, by the way. This is the first time since the 90s we made it back-to-back with double-digit wins. And, of course, I'm already declaring and decreeing that we go into the playoffs. So we made it there, man. Back-to-back playoff years, man. This is glorious, man. I'm happy about this 10-3 start so far.
Yeah, man, it's yeah, I mean, and I think that's wise of you, man, to celebrate, small successes. I think all of us should, practice that, real talk, because it's been since 2007 since we had back-to-back 10-win plus seasons, man. That's a real good point. Right. So, I know people trying to act like the sky's falling, but obviously the sky is not falling. We got some good news coming. Obviously, we heard about Tyron Smith and all kind of stuff, man. But yeah, it's a lot of good going on. So I ain't tripping at all. Like even over the Texas win, like we won the game, but the spirit is like we lost the game. Man, come on. So
now that we got that out the way, let's get this show on, man.
All right, let's get to the business,
I
bro.
showed
Let's
you
get to the business. So where you want to start? You want to start wrong?
Start off with these button hooks, man. And curl routes and all of that, man. Shout out to Rome for pointing this out. And, my thing is 4 freaking curl routes. What TF, you know what I'm saying, Kellen is doing. And y'all can already fill in what that means. So when I said that the Cowboys like to roll out these plays with Crayolas and crayons, however you want to say, and beyond, can you break down this, Boss Cowboy, why that this is such a bland approach to attack a doggone defense in the National Football League? Can you point that out, fam?
Yeah, what's going on, I think people looking at it like we running 4 hooks, but what's going on is those are option routes, and those are the results of option routes. Mm-hmm. So when you got these weapons trying to find those soft spots in the zone, sometimes it's gonna look like by design they ran hooks. Right. That's why Okoye also talked about this last year. Like, what's going on with the route design? And what's going on is they finding those holes in the zone, and it looks very elementary. Now, it's one thing that when it works well, but when the disguises are good from the defense, it doesn't work well, and it could really, really cause a lot of problems. So on a snapshot like what we're looking at from the big homie Rome from Cowboy Fans Talk, it's a bad look, and we do look very elementary. We do. Now, I also want to balance it out and say, when the option routes work well, it's a very good thing, because it allows your scheme to have a almost guaranteed hole in the zone that makes it almost impossible for a defense to adjust. But the look is bad. And this is the other part.
Break it down, Chief.
Defenses has figured it out. I'm certain on that. They figured us out. Oh, yeah. Our passing game, that's why our passing game don't work no more. It doesn't work. You ever notice that whenever Kellen Moore gets pass happy, points stop?
It does. And when teams, they play so much quarters in cover 2 defense, whereas, okay, well, we will embrace the fact that you're passing, because what we can do is bank on the fact that your quarterback got to read through all of this mess. And on top of that, with option routes, these are not timing routes, whereas they got to get a vibe in the field. And if these DBs is on the opposing side don't sink down into their zone, what you think that may be a hook, a sink hook, it can be all dismissed because it could be cover 1, right? It can be disguised to be that, and you think that you throwing into cover 2, and no, it's cover 1, or vice versa. So I look at this, and then when we have, look, I like what Brian Broaders bring to the table, but he was on a show, I forgot the name of the show, but it was on the Cowboys.com, and he said, well, the interceptions were primarily on Dak Prescott. But when I've learned that I know you was told this too, if the ball hit the hands of the receiver, that's on the receiver at that point. The Cowboys quarterback distribute the ball to the receiver and it bounces off their hand. Let me know how you break that down. Can you tell me a little bit about that, Boss Cowboy?
Yeah. Another thing with what you're saying is, it's not just Dak that could be tricked from disguises. Mm-hmm. The person that's likely go get tricked faster than anybody is the weapons. So when you trying to run aggressive option routes with weapons that's not used to reading the defense, who is likely go make the mistake? The weapon or the quarterback that's been a quarterback for 7 years? The weapons.
The weapon, okay.
So defenses has figured out that the key to stopping our passing game is those disguises. So, and to your point, yeah, that's an old school rule, right? That if the ball hit your hand, blame shifts immediately from the quarterback to the receiver. That's the standard from little league all the way to the pros. So it's just who go hold up the standard of receiver. Now, it was one thing that I tweeted too, man. I wanted to get your thoughts on this, Law.
All right.
Because me and you know for a fact that 3 other interceptions that happened to Dak was because of the scheme of Kellen Moore with those option routes.
Right.
One in Chicago, where CD Lamb didn't cross face, and he had to throw it with anticipation. 2 with Green Bay.
Right.
So if we really looking at it, Dak got 9, but only should have 6. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, like you said, the extra pressure is on the quarterback. Those are his babies, regardless of how you look at it, right? Those are the kids that he's going to have to raise up as it relates to the interceptions, regardless of how it happened. I slipped and I fell in it. Well, no, that's your child now. And the Cowboys got to look at it that way. Unfortunately, the 4-letter, the 3-letter network will look at it that way. And somebody at some point got to sit Kellen Moore down. And I believe slowly Dak Prescott is getting tired of this, and he leaked it out in a press conference, right, or in an interview post-game, and said maybe the plays that was drawn up need to be better in these situations. Now, I don't mind the option route, but dog it, don't allow all 4 wideouts do it or 3 wideouts. Have one particular guy to do one option route, and you can draw up plays for said wide receiver. But what he's doing is what you've been preaching last year about the negative connotations that there is really no dog in his offense, that everybody's treated equal, right? Everybody's a number 1. Everybody's a number 2. Everybody's a number 3. Bull sugar, you only need one number 1 and everybody else to play off of that. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, and honestly, I would want Kellen to get rid of option routes.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why. I don't know in what world, and I'm just being honest, where your boss says publicly, I've never been a fan of option routes.
Right.
And by week 8 and 9, we still running what your boss said he don't. In what world can I fire my boss.
Well, the Dallas Cowboys world, you know, and I'm not trying to rain on the parade when we're 10-3, ladies and gentlemen. But if you go back to my my Twitter page, I retweeted something, and I want you to look at that, and that will also increase the notion that we should be doing something. And it should be at the top of my page. Let me know when you see it. Yeah,
I got it. You know I got it, big dog. I got you, man. Hey, listen, boy, man, Law
shout out to my guy, man. Today. Shout out to my guy for sending me this. Sync. Shout out to my guy who sent me. Let me give him credit for his Ill Machine. He sent me this, and in his caption, he said, furthermore, that this should be the reason why they should run the ball, because if you look at the pass block win rate, we are at the bottom half. You see where the Colts and the Jaguars are at? We are right there with that win rate, meaning that our pass blocking is not sufficient, meaning that you're going to have some illogical reads, right? Rush reads. And on top of that, you're trying to do a system that's complicated, meaning that you got to have your wide out to do those option routes and pivot, whereas the ball can't come out quick. And it's harder to throw with anticipation. And you get these type of hiccups as it relates to this offense, especially with your quarterback. Now, although I'm quite sure any other quarterback that's not Dak Prescott is the reason why you would see where this offense should be ranked, right? Yeah, from a passing category. When we had Cooper Rush out there, we was ranked 26, 27 in the National Football League. Now all of a sudden we rank number 1. But I can tell you that if you pick Dak Prescott up and you move him on another team and it was consistently just with Cooper Rush, we'll be in the bottom half of the league because of this type of principles.
Facts. Yeah, man. And another reason why, to add to this, and that's a great illustration, it made no sense, in my opinion, man, to be going against cover 2 and not running the ball.
Right.
You know, it's come on, man. Like, God dog, you got your soft box. You had everything you wanted, Kellen. But listen, and I want to go back and kind of explain a little bit, because
break it down, man.
Some Cowboy fans, I really want to understand that we doing this out of love. We talking about this because we see this as something that could be a hindrance to the championship. Mm-hmm. All of us want the championship, so it's not about beating up Kellen. Only thing we want Kellen to do is align to his head coach.
Right.
That's all. You know, if he aligns to his head coach, I'm cool with Kellen. I had no problem with Kellen, but Kellen is not aligning. He's not. Just keeping it real. So as long as he's not aligning, there is no way we could be loyal to the Cowboys and be quiet about Kellen Moore. Yeah. You can't do it. The only way you can be loyal is you got to call out the person that's in the way of the ring. And he's in the way of the ring. And I am glad, to your point, that Dak said a little something about the play
I wish you had the audio, man.
I can pull it. You know I can pull it, man. You would have to stall for me.
So people can understand what we're saying about this.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was a small call out. He just was like, it was the play call. And then another sign, to your point, that there's starting to be some anger about Kellen not running the ball. Mm-hmm. Dak on the final play to Zeke said to his offensive line, "We finna run Zeke." Right. Well, why you say it like that? So I think it's starting to be some pushback. I really do. I think it's starting to be some pushback against Kellen, and the timing is right. You know, because one more thing I want to say, Law. I want to get your thoughts on this, because it's not right for Dak to say publicly that he's willing to take less and to throw it less, right? Mm-hmm. Zeke and Pollard willing to say that we both should be getting more, but we go split these carries, which affects their money.
It does.
Now, everybody being unselfish, but Kellen. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, Kellen might be looking at this, man, beyond this season, the 2022 season. And he's saying, I'm looking for food to feed for my kids. I'm looking for opportunity so that when I present my resume, that it can present itself to say number one in offense, number one in, total yards, man. Because think about it. Just because you coaching in this league and you're the offensive coordinator, on the resume, it doesn't mean that you got to win a Super Bowl or multiple playoffs, right? I mean, Mike McDaniel got him a big-time job. And then the dude that coached for the Vikings, and, of course, I know he was on a team that just won a Super Bowl. But if you look all around the league, you'll see young coaches like the coach Matt LaFleur and Brian Daboll and all of those boys. These are a young man's league, and I'm quite sure he's saying, hey, what about me? I'm just as good as those boys. I'm just as good as Josh McDaniels. I'm just as good as Mike McDaniel and all of those boys. So give me an opportunity. I can present to the table. Look, we the number one team in offense, and I've been here since 2019. The only time that we finished top 15 was in the pandemic year when my quarterback went down. But look at my resume. I finished top 10 in offense every year when I had a healthy quarterback. So give me an opportunity to showcase my talent, and that's what he's doing. And the good thing that gave me this notion to that was from you and Coach Marv. You had an excerpt that was on your Twitter page about Teddy Bruschi, who said that as long as this guy trying to fill in those stats, it would be the downfall of the Cowboys. And we can clearly say it. It makes no sense. Like, I know people right now that's coaching little league, middle school, and high school know that you're supposed to run on cover two. Cover two is a pass defense, meaning that, look, let's just do the math. The max you're going to have in cover two is 6 in the side, right? The linebacker got the responsibility to drop into the hook. The two other linebackers, they got to control the flats, but they can't resort there until the ball is snapped. So when you playing cover two, you're supposed to run the ball. That should be the easiest 6 yards you can get off the edge. Yeah. And we don't even attack that. We say, you know what? We're going to drop back on a 5-step drop for a play for option route. Come on, crazy. Man.
It's crazy. And so this is the cool thing. Teddy talked about that this week. We talked about on the final word that Kellen Moore looks as if he's play calling for a job.
Ooh.
And this the main reason it's not hard to make that assumption is because you see too many times his play design or his game design is against common sense. So, like, for instance, the Green Bay was ranked 26 versus the run.
Right.
He threw it 39 times. No, 46 times.
40 sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, 40 sometimes. It was
with
crazy.
the league in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
14
and they was ranked 10th.
Right.
Houston was ranked as a bottom team versus the run. And he came out and threw it 39 times. Right. And 23 times in the first half. Mm-hmm. So how do you go against common sense? So it's like, why are you doing this? Like, there's nothing that matches common sense in your game design versus the opponent. Like, if I know that you strong against the pass and weak against the run, and we strong running the ball, I'm finna run it down your throat. It's strength on weakness, Kellen. Yeah. So this super chat said, Joe Cook, he said, feed and speed. We can't salute one with the other. How did Zeke have a better game than TP? Kellen pulled a 49ers on us by not giving the ball to TP and CD in the second half. All right, yeah, man. So I know we beating up on Kellen, man. We really
beating up on that kid. Bad, too bad.
Yeah. And yeah, somebody say boss almost up to 5K subs. I think I'm about 4 subs away. I'm gonna hit 5,000 by the end of this show. So
Come
I
on, y'all.
appreciate
Y'all
it,
hit
man.
that like and share
Yeah,
this
we gonna
thing
hit that,
and
man.
subscribe to Boss Cowboy Sports.
Yeah,
man.
we gonna hit that
Yeah.
by the end of the show. I promise. I'm 4 subs away from 5,000. Appreciate y'all. Um, Real quick, Law. Turning the page on Kelly Moore, if you don't mind. You also brought up something else. We was talking before the show. You said you wanted me to put it in the show.
Well. I have multiple people hitting me up saying, yeah, Anthony Brown is the second best DB on his team, and I get what they're saying, right? But
yeah.
In a vacuum, you got to understand that you got to allow this other kid, Kelvin Joseph, to go through growing pains, and just to keep this in mind. 5 targets, 4 catches allowed, 69 yards allowed with 1 pass breakup. And one can argue that the yards that was allowed, you know what I'm saying, is miscued because the PFF kind of count some zones, and that was a play that he was defending that one can argue that was an incomplete pass. But that's a story of another day. I just look at Kelvin Joseph as a guy that down the line, you give him more playing time, you will see some of his skill sets exhibit and exude itself.
No doubt. And I want to ask you, Law, real quick, and then the OC, since he in the building, we waiting on Big Game James.
No doubt.
I wanted to kind of lean on y'all for Competition Tuesday, because I usually always do Competition Tuesday, but I said I'm going to save it for the final word.
Let's go.
Like, what's your gut feeling on the competition at the corner that's going on right now, Law? And then we go to UOC.
Most certainly. Before I go there, somebody is saying that, well, did we see the game plan? That was the reason why we deviated from the actual game plan of what you need to do as far as the offensive strategy. Well, bull sugar. You don't run those type of options just because it was a fumble or just because it was an interception and such and such. But that's a story of another day, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, you don't get away from who you are. Because, see, that's the problem, man. Too many people justifying Kelly Moore being cute. He out thinking stuff. It's like we came out and we blew Minnesota out running the ball. And he said, you know what? They might try to stop the run next week, so I'm not going to do that. How about just stick with who you are? Stick with the identity that y'all been preaching all off season.
Right.
Y'all been saying, y'all have been telling us we learned from San Fran. Am I lying? We learned from San Fran. We know we want to be a physical team because we're going to come back and we're going to face San Fran again. Well, when we go see the physicality, OC?
Listen, man, I'll tell you like this. Kellen Moore came out and threw the ball more than we ran the ball in the first half, and that's what gave us the trouble offensively. We really could have put this team away had we stuck with the script of the first touchdown, but we got away with it. We got gimmicky. We got into some different formations. We got into some bad route combinations, which we'll talk more about later. And, you know, people will try to argue against what we're saying, and I've even heard it on certain syndications and outlets that, hey, you know, we still end up running the ball about 30 times. But yeah, that was in the second half, and that's what caused us to win the game. We're talking about how you start the script of the game. And when you start the script of the game in a pass-happy environment, then we get down. Then we have third down and out. Uh-oh, they scored a touchdown. Uh-oh, they scored 2 touchdowns. Uh-oh, we got a ball game. You know, so when we put teams away with really pinpoint precision is when we're coming out, we're committing to the run, and we're committing to that play action pass.
Yeah. And that philosophy right there, DOC, and I love that, what you just said. You run to set the tone, right? You supposed to get back to your identity. You know what? Yep. This reminds me of a movie. I like to throw in movies, boss, and the OC. And everybody can relate to this movie. It's called The Lion King. You know, Simba lost his identity. So he ran off into the wilderness, right? And he was got help raised by a pig and a meerkat, right? But when it was time for him to get back to what he's supposed to do, the monkey showed him a reflection of his father, and his father told him, remember who you are. You are my son, the one true king. And he kept telling him, remember who you are. We need to have some type of voice that can be permeated into the ears of Kellen Moore that can tell him, remember who this team is. This is a running team. And they will be able to be prosperous if you can run the ball. Remember, I wish I could have that sound in his head. So when he thinking about throwing the ball with Dak Prescott over 30 times, that it can just be a switch, a Mufasa voice. Remember who you are. You know what I mean? You need to run the ball, man. And run with purpose, not just run to say, hey, I ran the ball, because there was a series in a situation that he ran the ball 11 times, but he need to run with purpose. Y'all go ahead, man.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember,
You're
listening to nothing but the best.
Skrill, drop it hard.
Let's go.
Real quick, I gotta take this comment because I was just getting ready to get off of Kellen Moore.
They killing me in this comment.
It's so fire. I gotta take this comment. It's fire. He said Jerry wants Mike McCarthy to baby Kellen, but give Kellen most of the rope. Ooh.
Yoga fire. Yoga
Let's talk
flame.
about that. So, because I was just finna move off of Kelly until I read that comment. Now check this out.
They said Jerry Jones is Scar.
Oh, he's scarred.
Mike McCarthy need to be Mufasa.
That's funny. Say, check this out, man. Check this out. Oh, I can't wait to Big get up in here too. But check this out.
See,
just real quick, on South Pro. I'm gonna be quick.
go ahead.
So, if you notice, it's coaches that are pass happy now as head coaches, but was submitted as OCs. Okay. So if you look at Miami, right, what are they doing right now? Bums away. But what was their head coach doing under Shanahan?
Run. That's how he got his job. Run coordinator.
Thank you, Law. Cause see, Law, you just stole my point. You thief. Where's that button? Thief.
You,
please tell.
I got you.
Please tell me you got that button. Thief.
Stop, thief. Come back, thief.
You stole my point. So, Kellen, if you want a job, if you want to be a head coach, do what he did. Because, see, you was sitting in the final seat with him. Why did they pick him over you? You had the number one offense last year, but they picked him. You know why? Because running the ball won in the playoffs with San Fran. So everything you want is going to be about winning, not about stats. You should have learned that already.
Man, listen, and here's the point that people really don't get. You know, all of the naysayers that say we're Kellen haters and this, that, and the third, we're really trying to help Kellen. Kellen, I'm trying to get you a head coaching job. I'm trying to teach you what you need to do so that you can be highly regarded when you have head coach openings. I'm teaching you how to be a responsible play caller. That's all we're trying to do here. Because at the end of the day, man, when you stick to ball control and time of possession, the Cowboys are undefeated. And Kellen Moore is smart enough to look at these stats. Kellen Moore is smart enough to look at the data and understand. And listen, this bodes to something that me and you discussed offline, Boss Cowboy, and I hope you have the clip. I pray you have the clip. What did Teddy Bruschi say? What did Ted see? You done made me be messy. I didn't want to be messy. What did Teddy Bruschi say?
He said he calling plays like he trying to get a job.
Say that again.
He calling plays like he trying to get a head coaching job. And we said that 3 weeks ago.
Yes, sir, we did. Yes, sir, we did. So so there's an old saying, less is more. A lot of times you're trying to be impressive, and the more you try to be impressive, you make yourself less impressive. And that's what Kellen Moore is doing, because now there is becoming a nice swell in the community. Well, Kellen Moore will damage us. Kellen Moore will hurt us because of what he's doing. So, more and more people are catching on to what we've been saying. If you just look at the data and you look at the games, and all Kellen Moore has to do is stick with the script. And if he sticks with the script and also help your quarterback, you see, and I'm not letting Dak off the hook, because there's two elements to this, right, in terms of turn, because this is something about.
It's two-way.
You have the play call, but then you have the quarterback that's making a decision to throw the ball. So it's a two-way street. But as an offensive coordinator, you can help your quarterback. When John Kitna was the quarterback coach, and we had play ass. Oh, sorry.
No, you good.
Am I back?
I mean, you was with
Okay.
fire too. Go ahead.
Man, you was going crazy.
Okay. So I'm saying this, and I'll be done.
Yeah.
That when John Kitna was the quarterback coach, and when we had Dak operating, to me, at his best, Dak was precise on the routes. It was clean reads. It was good play action pass. And now you have a jumbled up pass game, and with some of the route combinations, with it not being enough spacing in terms of how you construct the routes, especially on two-man routes, which can make you susceptible to throwing interceptions or trying to force the ball into too tight of windows on a consistent basis. And I think that's a part of the problem that we're seeing with Dak Prescott right now, is that help him out with some of the play calls too, Kellen.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 fat super chats. So real quick, just to catch them up real quick. He said Joseph did exactly what I expected. He got better as the game went on. Bland and Joseph are going to continue to grow as they get reps. Yeah. And I agree with that. And then William said Kellen is basically our head coach, just without the name title. He believes he's either over Will McClay or that level at this point in ownership eyes. All right, man, let me get off of Kelly because I'm getting depressed.
Here's the thing. He's been here for a minute, too, and he was thrusted the position of being the offensive coordinator. We got a lot of purchasing power when you are the offensive coordinator. It's a sexier title than also being a special teams coach, and one can argue defensive coach. So it is what it is. But if he plays his cards right, from what I've checked on, Noel Turner got a head coaching job, right? From the 90s. Dave Wanstead, right? Got a head coaching opportunity, which he was a defensive guy. So we get all of that, but he just got to be patient. His time will come, but don't rush it. Stay focused. And this is my last touch on Kellen Moore. If we go back and look at how we won, I guarantee you we didn't lose this year when Ezekiel Elliott had 15 or more touches, right? We undefeated this year. I had a chart line that says such, right? And if you guys believe it or not, we are undefeated going and dating back all the way to last year. So that put us right in the realms of 17-0 when we have these type of touches with Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. So let's continue to do those things.
I agree, Law.
And I'm going to say one last thing, boss. I'm sorry. I got to get this out of my heart. All right? Then we can move on. I got to get this out of my heart.
Okay.
Because, listen, look, here's the thing, man. Kellen Moore is the result of bad parenting. Okay? And this is what happens. This is the adage of if you have a spoiled child and they begin to make really bad decisions and you begin to try to discipline them when they're 16 years old, it doesn't work. You have to discipline a child early. However you do that, whether you believe in spankings or timeout or whatever the case might be. And Kellen Moore was given the keys to the kingdom, planted as a Trojan horse prematurely, being the only holdover when Mike McCarthy was hired, and put in thinking that they were being smart, but they were being unwise by undercutting the authority of the new head coach by forcing Kellen Moore to be the holdover, thus giving him entitlement rights and spoiled privileges. And now when you want to reel him back in, it is extremely difficult to do so.
I got to give an example on that. I'm so sorry. I thought we was finished, but I got to give an example on that.
It was in my soul. I'm sorry.
Man, I was working in corporate America, bro. And I had a boss where my boss and I was responsible for hiring my people. Okay. And he didn't want this particular sales rep at first that I chose because he wanted the ones that came from the University of Houston. I picked this girl up from a car dealership, right? So I got her skills up. She was flossing. She was killing the game. She was doing her thing. To the point, my boss offered her the job while she was working under me. What you think happened? What you think happened when she knew that she was the next sales rep in line? She stopped working.
What you said don't matter anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
What you said
right,
don't
Law.
matter.
What
Right.
I said didn't matter anymore because she knew she already had the job. So guess what I had to do to get my authority back? I went to my boss. I said, "Hey, boss, you got quotas that you not go hit." He said, "What you mean?" I say, "Man, you offered her the job." I said, "She ain't got no incentive to work hard for me no more." He said, "Oh." I said, "Yeah." I said, "So, boss, I'm not telling you how to do your job, but she need to know, and everybody else need to know that their job depends on how they work while they're under me." And he was like, "Let's have a meeting." And we went right in there, put all my sales reps together. He was talking at her, but he was acting like he was talking to everybody. You know what I mean? And he gave me my authority back. It's what the OC talking about. So Mike McCarthy authority was cut, which made him powerless. And that's why we seeing this kid behavior that we seeing with Kellen Moore. Super Chat said, backup starter, backup QB coach. Every job Kellen Moore has gotten, he has applied for, just given. Ooh.
Yes, indeed.
Because he's smart.
And here's what we gonna say, just to put a little lipstick on this pig, just a little bit.
Let's do it. Yep.
He's not
Let's
a
do it.
terrible guy. You know, we see some greatness out of him, but it's when you apply those greatness, and we do see
Right.
him overstepping the authorities. Why? Just like what you just mentioned, boss, and the OC. The head person in charge literally said he don't like option routes. I don't
He
think
said-
that you know.
I'm not
I
a
don't
fan
even
of
think in the
option
West
routes.
Coast.
It's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said. In the West Coast offense, you really don't have many of option routes because it's about using your short areas and using quick passes, and it's also disguising your runs to make everything look uniform. Right?
Yeah.
That's my ideology of West Coast offense, where everything looks the same. You can run out of that package, you can throw out of that package. You got predetermined reads that you're going to have to hit those targets regardless of what the opposing team is doing. It's the opposing team bending to what you do versus you bending to what they do. It's that
Right.
type of stuff. It's bam, 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 right? So
Yeah.
my thing is, if the head coach already came out and said earlier this year he don't like it, well, why in the hell are you still doing it?
Bro.
Because I can do whatever I want. My name is Kellen Moore, and I am the golden child. And it don't matter what none of y'all say. I'm going to come out here, I'm going to throw it 40 times, and oh, God, we better not play a team that's less than 500 because I'm going to throw it 50 times. And I'm going to
Facts.
add that, and I'm going to add this to my resume because I had that to throw for 4,000 yards. And it's going to make me look real good. And then even last year, I'm going to run out on the field when we lost a game to the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm going to give a bear hug to Cliff Kingsbury. You know why? Because we the young hot shot, and we want to look real good. And I'm going to make sure that my name is in the spotlight because I got to rub some elbows, and I got to get this $25 million job at all costs.
Oh, you just cracked it.
The OC.
God, dog.
No emotions, no friends, no loyalty.
Straight business.
God, dog.
Straight business.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
Boy, that OC went crazy. God, dog.
You know what's about to happen, boss?
What's
You know what I'm
that?
saying? It just hit me. Kellen Moore may be the new head coach
Oh,
of the Cards. if you really contextualize, I think Cliff, he gonna do a solid by the organization and franchise, and he's gonna go to college somewhere. He gonna go over there and probably put his name in the hat for Stanford if Jason Garrett don't get it right. He's gonna go off to college, and Kellen Moore is gonna scoop right into Arizona. You gonna have a good quarterback. You gonna have a guy like a D-Hop. You gonna have all of those wide receivers. That's gonna happen. Watch.
Hey, and this, I'm trying to get
Straight
off Kellen Moore because trust me, I got some good stuff to talk about other than Kellen Moore.
Oh, let's get off Kellen Moore. Though.
Y'all keep pulling me back in.
But he's gonna be
bro.
the head coach of the Cards, man.
God, dog. I hope you right, bro.
Yep. After we win the Super Bowl this year,
I promise, unless they pull me back in, this is the last thing I'm gonna say about Kellen Moore. I don't understand our reporters neither. I don't get it. Because he said Kellen Moore don't even have to worry the reporters asking him hard questions. I can't figure that out myself. I can't figure out how he can just fully abandon the identity of the head coach where he clearly said running the ball is our winning formula. Watch him get pass happy. He walks in the press conference and they just throw softballs at him. I just be like, what? Wait, can y'all treat him like he Dak, please? Cause see, when it's Dak, oh y'all just where my gunshot? Boy, I swear, y'all. But when it's Dak, the reporters. But when it's Kellen, they
Emotional damage.
man. So here we go. All right, I'm finally getting off Kellen.
Yeah. Let's get off Kellen Moore.
Yeah,
More
man,
for president, baby.
Man, please, man. He'll sink the country. All right, here we go. All right, let me pull up. I got some good juice. Let's get into some good news, if y'all don't mind.
All right.
Let's talk about Jerry Jones' interview today.
Jerry,
here we go.
Jerry, you guys made some news yesterday with the acquisition of T.Y. Hilton. Why did you guys decide to sign T.Y.?
Well, of course, I've always admired him as the player he was there at Indianapolis, and knew that he was picking his team, so to speak, seriously. He had a lot of interest out there. We knew it. We've known it. And he, of course, was interested in what we're doing and what we're doing at this time. And so it was an opportunity for us. We took it, and he can really help us out. He's really one of the smartest receivers that I can remember. Kelvin Martin was such an influence when I first came with the Cowboys. And I've heard Michael Irvin give Kelvin Martin such credit for a lot of the things that happened in his career. But the thing that always stood out about Kelvin Martin was how smart he played the game. And T.Y. has some of those characteristics and got a lot of speed, runs really well, and, of course, is ready to go.
Is that what you're looking for physically, Jerry, in terms of the skill set, that burner to be a deep threat down the field? Is that his best attribute?
Well, we've got a lot of position flex with him, but I would say that he's got that step, but he also brings a ton of experience. That's big, real big, because we'll want him to step in immediately, and these guys that have played a lot of football in the NFL have a good chance of doing that. He's seen the kinds of routes that we're going to run. He has seen them time and time again in the NFL, and there at Indianapolis. So I think he's a real pickup for us that will, frankly, hit the ground running and immediately give us some help.
Why?
I'm going to pause it for a second.
Okay. I thought you were going to play that last little clip, but go ahead.
I'll go.
Did you feel he was a need? Did you think and see that the rest of the wide receiving core was lacking a little bit?
Well, no. The real, for his availability has a lot to do with it, but I think that we have continued to look for a speed element, being able to have a player that can give those secondaries something else to think about out there as our core base of receivers are basically doing their thing, and he does that. He's a receiver that the defense will have to honor, and when he does, he'll make it better for Wilson. He'll make it not Wilson, but Brown, and he'll make it better for, of course, with Lamb, and so I'm glad. I'm glad's not the word for it. I'm excited the fact that he's available.
You can
talk about Dallas Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones here on 105 through the Fan. Jerry,
Okay, hold on real quick.
does this take you guys out of the running for Odell Beckham Jr. at least until the spring?
Of course, we wouldn't have been interested in Odell had he not had the kind of talent that certainly can last to the spring, so to speak. But I think it's fair to say that he's an outstanding receiver. He's, as you well know, he's not ready to play today. That's important, and but he will be ready come spring, and he's a receiver that I think would fit any team. And so I want to easily say there's going to be continued interest in Odell.
Yeah.
But is it safe to say he won't be on this year's version of the Dallas Cowboys?
No, I wouldn't go that far if you'll include the playoffs.
All right, let's talk. All right, that's okay. We got now. There's a lot that came out right there.
Boy.
So we'll kick it off.
All right, so I'm gonna have to go all the way back to what he said by T.Y. Now I'm not dogging T.Y. I like the fact that they do got him, by the way. But what I said earlier today is that this is literally hustling backwards, because we like what we've seen out of Lamb's growth. And we understand that Michael Gallup always was that third down catch machine, but he was still inconsistent a lot. And I'm talking about Gallup, right? But Lamb was a guy that developed, and he's on his way. But by him saying bring it in T.Y. would help elevate and alleviate some of the difficulties from the other wide receivers. That's what we've been arguing all year. Bring in a veteran wide receiver to help alleviate some of the pressure so that Lamb can be who he is. And you got rid of Amari Cooper so that we can go around all of this to almost coming to around to pay Brandon Cooks the same thing what you was about to pay Amari Cooper. It's just that the ink ran out of the pen ran out of ink right before the trade deadline hit. And of course we tried to put in some situations for Jerry Jeudy. I wouldn't have got mad at that one. But we've been talking about Odell Beckham for the last 4 to 5 weeks now. When we cut our legs off from under us by getting rid of Amari Cooper. Now we bringing in a guy that's 33 years of age, right, who haven't been playing for the majority of this season, to come in to be the Band-Aid that's over this bullet wound is what we are talking about now. This could have all been alleviated. Look, of course we wanted James Washington to stand tall. But when he got hit by Jalen Patriot, he said, oh, I'm going to drop the ball. And my foot hurt. Let me go sit on to the bench over here. You know what I mean? We've been waiting all year for James Washington, for him to try to catch the ball and say, wee, my foot hurt. So now let me go back to the bench. So now the Cowboys need to figure out this, and I hope that T.Y. can come and bring an excitement level to us, but this is us literally hustling backwards.
This is so hustling backwards. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, look, T.Y. Hilton does bring an element of explosiveness and experience to this team that can be extremely helpful, in my opinion. And I think that what he will enable us to do is to draw some of the one-on-one coverages with Gallup and with CeeDee Lamb. So he should be a big benefit. And as he gets his feet wet in this offense, really he should take reps from Noah Brown, being the top third receiver, and maybe sometimes the 2 receiver, depending upon how the defense rolls coverage. So I think he's a really good pickup. And I think he's healthy, as Jerry Jones indicated. He's running fast. He still has some speed. He might not be a 4.35, but he's at least a low 4.4 still. And that's going to bode well for the Cowboys as an additional weapon heading to these playoffs. So I like the signing. I think it's a great pickup.
Yes.
Yeah, and I also like them signing. And shout out to Will McClay, just keeping it real, because Jerry basically read off the scouting report that he got from the scouting team. Obviously, right? Jerry ain't out there scouting them guys. He trusting his scouts to do the job. And what he said was all key to somebody being an instant fit to our offense. He talked about him being smart. You have to be smart to run option routes. You got to be able to read the defense on the quarterback level. Check. He talked about him being in shape. So that's a fit in terms of somebody that can help us right now. We ain't got to wait on no ramp up or no knee or no therapy or no Brent Brown. We ain't got to wait on nothing. So number 3, what he talked about was that his offense also fit what we're doing now, which is also alluding to the option routes. On top of that, he's a route runner, which we also know is Dak friendly. So we all remember how it was instant chemistry with Dak and Amari Cooper. Why? Because Amari was Dak friendly. Dak loved people who win with their feet. He's a guy that wins with his feet, and he understands the pressures of what CeeDee Lamb is going through right now. He made that transition to become a number 1. He wasn't the number 1 at first. He had to do exactly what CeeDee Lamb went through.
Right, true that.
Where he was the number 2 and became the number 1. So now you got somebody in the locker room that can whisper in CeeDee Lamb's ear.
Right.
It can relate. So I just see check. There
you go.
Clap it up. We got the homie in the building. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. We got the big dog in the building. We've been waiting on you, big homie. It ain't right until you get here, big dog.
Yeah.
So I
love the hat.
I appreciate it, man.
I love it.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays to everybody.
LL Cool J is hard as hell.
Yeah.
And then my dog Law Nation, you know how it is, boss Cowboys. I appreciate all y'all.
Let me
what
shut
to
up,
do,
bro.
man? How y'all doing, man?
Oh, we doing good, man.
Why?
We
Why you want to shut up?
Well, we were talking about hustling backwards, and here's what I got to say, because somebody just got me angry about something. I want you guys to think about this.
I like when you get angry.
Man, I like it too.
Right,
Let me see what's getting ready to
It's not
happen.
about. It's
like
not
when you get
about
angry.
Law. You got to get over Amari Cooper. This bullsugar. It's not about that. It's about the business and the principles of it. You fool around and got rid of a wide receiver that gave you 8 touchdowns. Excuse me, when Dak Prescott was targeting him, it was 122 passer rating when targeting. Hey, close to 1,000 yards last season and beyond. And on top of that, that is the same thing that we had with La'el Collins when we got rid of him way before the trade deadline or the June 24th or whatever you would have you. So what I'm saying is that is hustling backwards. You could have held the Cincinnati Bengals feet to the fire. You could have got an acquisition in return for him, but no, you got rid of him and got nothing back in return. I'm talking principles of this particular team not getting what they supposed to get out of players. On top of that, you could have got more than a 5th round draft pick for Amari Cooper, but you let feelings and emotions got in the way, and you got rid of the dude for a 5th round draft pick that's no longer here. Well, he's still here, and his name is Matt Walesko, and the other 5th round draft pick that you talked about that you love so much, you got rid of him to the Washington team. So don't talk to me about being, hey, you gotta be mindful that you're letting go of guys because of blah, blah, blah. That's bullshit. That's not how you handle this team finances and draft picks.
Oh my God! Say, man, I gotta hit your button again. 3, 2, oh my God! I love
but the best.
Let's go.
Big Come on, bro. We talking about the acquisition of Ty, bro. You got. Oh, please pick it up, cause Law to slap somebody.
I can't come behind that, dog. Like, I can't come behind that for real. So I'm not gonna try to. Law just killed that, so that's his own little thing. I mean, I feel everything what Law is saying. I agree with everything what Law is saying. But if we're talking about the T.Y. Hilton thing, I will say this. I ain't mad at it.
Right.
Because
mad at it.
Look, this is why I'm gonna say everything Law said was right, but we're here right now.
True.
Okay, that's the only thing I can say right now. We're here right now. Everything is right what he said. You should have never let Amari, because tell me this offense wouldn't be really good with Amari and CD with another year with them two together. Michael Gallup, tell me this offense wouldn't be nasty.
It would be
Dallas
nasty.
is 10-3
Facts.
without Amari Cooper. You
Oh
feel
my.
me? This offense would be even more dynamic
So
if you had
nasty.
Amari Cooper, and it's going to would be even more scary here into the playoffs. So as a Cowboys fan and even a content creator, why would you been frustrated about it? Because you still look at that as like, that is a piece when you're talking about getting the Odell Beckham Jr. That's something that you would have never had to talk about if you would have kept it Amari Cooper. He wouldn't have never been in the conversation. You would have never talked about OBJ because you had Amari Cooper right there. You had CeeDee Lamb, and you had Michael Gallup, and you had your other guys. You would have never mentioned him, or that would have never been a thought. But as it is right now, I can't get mad at this right now. Everybody's like, oh, he's 33, blah, blah, blah. I get
cool.
that.
Right.
But if we're talking about right now, where Dallas takes a receiver, if you look at Jalen Tolbert, is he playing?
No.
No, he's not. So if Jalen Tolbert is not playing, and that's a third-round pick that we thought was going to be playing right now, right? So if he's out of the equation, you have to bring something in. So I'll take a T.Y. Hilton if you're taking a Jalen Tolbert out the equation, because you look to have him be playing right now, because you were looking to have him be an impact this year. So I'll take a veteran like that heading into the playoffs these last 5 games, because here's the thing. He's not playing a full year, just like Jason Peters. Jason Peters is 40 years old, right? But we didn't get him at the beginning of the season. And he hasn't played a lot during this time. So he's able to get himself acclimated. He's able to get himself in shape. So in these 5 games, Jason Peters, if you playing him, may be really good, because he didn't play in a long whole season. At 40 years old, a long season will wear on him. A 5-game stretch, he may be really good. And so that's what I'm saying. When you pick up a T.Y. Hilton at this short space, he may be really good in the short period of time that you need to use him. So I'm going to be happy about it, because he could be an explosive piece for the playoff run.
True that.
Check this out. The lunatics say, what a yoga flame for Law.
Wait a
Bro,
minute.
we upgraded.
Wait a
the
minute.
yoga flame is old.
Your cars.
Yeah, man. We finna get Law all of it, bro.
Hey, man.
I like Mad Law.
Fire!
I'm
Yoga
just frustrated. I'm not mad at the collective, because like he said, at least we went and got a TY to see if that's going to work out. Now we know Simi Fihoko, I mean, he didn't work out for us. Jalen Tolbert is not working out for us. And James Washington, we going to have to give him one more week. But word to the wise, man, it may not work out for us if he can't concentrate and hold on to the ball. But go ahead, DOC. I ain't mean to jump in front of you again.
No, you're good, man. I mean, listen, my only piggyback and backup to this whole T.Y. Hilton signing is that James Washington got his soul taken with one good hit on him. So he's just a guy. He's not the answer, okay? And he never was the answer. He got a soul taken with one clean shot on him, came out the game, and didn't even try to come back, and he ain't played all year. I don't like that. So it shows about your physical toughness, and it shows about your personhood. And also, if you look at this offense and you look at, not to go back to this, it just keeps drawing me back in. I'm sorry. It's like it's calling me.
Please
it's
don't say
calling me.
Kellen Moore, please.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to say it again, because Kellen Moore is not a good developer of young receivers. And we've seen this because another guy that we drafted that had potential that really should have been working to this offense when you had injuries is Simi Fioco, right?
Yeah. Yes.
We haven't seen him all year. We ain't seen him all year. And we also hadn't seen hey, Tolbert, we drafted this guy thinking he's going to come in and at least give us 10 or 15 snaps a game, give us a couple passes, give us 20, 30 receptions in the game. He hasn't given us a thing. So that goes to say coaching, wide receiver coach, offensive coordinator, a combination of the two, however you want to spin it. This team has not been good at developing and bringing along their young wide receiver talent. And so you have to go and get veteran receivers or guys that already have familiarity with offensive concepts and understand nomenclature to be effective, because you can't really play and coach unless they have that. And Kellen Moore and the wide receiver coach, whoever else you want to throw in there, they have not proven that.
Nomenclature.
I can't look at Kelly right now. I can't talk about Kelly right now. I'm done with Kelly. I can't do it. I'm done with Kelly. Jerry, here we go.
Loss of Terrence Steele this week. I assume it sounded like after the game you were saying Josh Ball, Jason Peters, those would be guys who you'd turn to here at right tackle. Jason Peters at 41 years old now, is he a guy you think that can handle a full 60, 70 snaps every game down this, these remaining weeks?
Good question.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, yes, I do.
I don't believe you.
And we're so fortunate to have him. I think he's a Hall of Famer, ultimately, and I was real impressed with the way he stepped in Sunday. One thing that I want to brag on is how our coaching staff and how the players themselves in the offensive line have created us quite a bit of flexibility here. So with the fact that we've got Tyron Smith coming back, that gives us some real options here on how to set this up without Steele. So we'll see how the week unfolds, but we've got some real options here to go forward, and that's a real credit to your coaching staff.
Jerry, how are you feeling about an updated timeline for Tyron Smith to return at left tackle?
Well, he'll be in, as I see it right now, he'll be playing Sunday, and we'll see how that works. But I'm planning on, and I know that he's planning on having a good week of practice, and if so, then we could see him get snapped Sunday.
Wait.
You want me to take it first? No, let Big go. Let Big.
Yeah, Big ain't saying nothing in a minute, bro. Let's get Big. Let's feed Big the ball. Let's go, Big.
I mean, I'm gonna just tell you right now. I said there was two things that kept the organization from going to the top, right?
Yes.
And this is one of the things right here. Like this is one of the things right here, that stops Dallas from going to the top. Okay, you know why? I had somebody jump in a Twitter thing like weeks ago when Jerry said that, he's going to already be this. And I'm like, see, that's why Dallas don't go nowhere. And somebody said, how him and Mike McCarthy didn't already talk about it. He's just confirming it. Man, shut the F up. Excuse my language. But don't tell me that. You think Mike McCarthy is telling Jerry what it is and then Jerry's relaying it? No, he's not. Jerry's telling him what it is, and then he's going out and speaking it. I don't care. Now, we talked about Mike McCarthy bucking up. I think it was like a week ago, and that felt good, and I think he does. I think he does, but when it comes down to it, that's that medicine we talk about.
Yep.
Now, I don't have no problem Tyron Smith coming back because I feel like we gonna need him, right?
Right.
But just the fact that when he comes in and when you're having the fan interview him, like, what's the timetable on Tyron Smith? Oh yeah, he probably gonna be playing Sunday. Yeah, he gonna be ready. He gonna be playing. Did the coach say this? Did the coach say anything that Tyron Smith is ready to play? But you have the GM always stepping in there when he feels like a player is ready. He's always on the fan saying, yeah, he's playing. Yeah, he's starting. Yeah, we moving him right there. I don't never hear the coach saying it first. It's always Jerry. And that's what I tell people. That is the reason why I feel like that what holds us back from going to the top, because he is still making decisions. So when people try to tell me that he don't influence no play calling, influence who goes in and out the games, you're lying to me. I don't believe it, because if Jerry says Ezekiel Elliott needs to play right now, is anybody on that organization on that staff going to say no to Jerry and say no Tony Pollard starting? Let me see it.
Man.
Well, this is a question with many layers. So let me just take a couple minutes to unpackage this. We know that Tyron Smith hadn't played all year. He's coming back from a pretty significant leg injury in his hamstring. And, I wish him well. I hope he's healthy. And this is one of the situations where I'll say a couple things. One, don't rush him. Don't rush him back because you think it's time for him to play. And number two, don't count on it. Don't count on him being at 100%. Don't count on him being able to play out the rest of the games without maybe needing a sub and things of that nature. Or, God forbid, I hope he doesn't get hurt again. So this is when you have to be smart and rely on your coaches. If you're talking about Jason Peters came to the Cowboys 30 to 40 pounds overweight, in my opinion, based on just my knowledge and my eyeballs. It was said that he's lost 25, 30 pounds over the course of the year. Great job by him trying to work his body into shape. He played about 10 plays at right tackle at the end of that game versus the Texans. 10 plays is different than 70.
Right.
And Jason Peters has the decorum. He has the game experience. He has the wisdom. He understands the angles. He understands alignment. He understands all those things, which will make him a solid for you at any position, but to what extent? And that's the question. And you're putting a lot of pressure on him. And maybe he gets through this game fine, right? Maybe he gets through game 2 fine. But I don't know, and I'm not convinced that the conditioning level and just his body is going to hold up over 60, 70, 80 plays if you get a lot of plays in the game. I just think that's unfair to ask him to do. I think it's unfair. I think it's unwise, which is why I've been a huge advocate of bringing up Avante Collins and letting him get some reps at that right tackle. And let me further explain the full picture, and I'm going to kick it off here now after this. Because if you have any issue with Tyron Smith, you're going to have to move Tyler Smith back to left tackle. You're going to have to then insert a Connor McGovern right back into the left guard position, okay? If you have any issues with Jason Peters at the right tackle position, with injury, with being tired, with anything, you need another tackle. So you have to get Avante Collins ready to play for the sake of this team and for us to be able to make a long-term run. You have to. Josh Ball is not an option. Let me say that again. Josh Ball is not an option. Let me say it one more time.
They keep talking about him like he is.
He's not. He's not
they talk about him like he is.
Because he's a draft pick, but because he's a draft pick, and Avante Collins is not. That's why they talk about Josh Ball, because he's a fourth round. I feel you, OC. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. But they drafted him, and y'all know how they do draft picks.
Yep.
They drafted him in the 4th round. He didn't play all last year. And what is the organization? They never want to look wrong, right?
Facts.
So what are they going to do? They're going to throw him out there because they don't want to look like they're wrong, and they want to see what they have in him. That's why they're going to push that play. I agree with y'all, but I will at least say that as much as y'all have been saying Avante Collins, at least they have moved him up, because they have moved him up. You didn't hear about him at least or this whole year, but they moved him up and activated him to that practice squad the past 2 or 3 weeks ago. So they do have that in mind, and I think they are listening to what you guys are talking about, or they wouldn't have elevated him, because I've been listening when they've been bringing up people from the practice squad. He was one of the players, so maybe that can happen. But I also think the OC as well, that they may look at Zach Martin being an option as well, because he did play for a couple games. I think they will look at it. I think they will visit it, maybe talk to him, and if he really balks at it again, maybe they go another route. But we know Connor McGovern's a better right guard than a left guard, even though he's played that left guard very well. You could always make that happen if you wanted to make a run, if something happened with a Tyron Smith. You get what I'm saying? That's just saying, if they didn't even want to touch that Avante Collins, that's an option, because he did do it in 2020.
No doubt, man.
Yeah, and listen,
hold
Zach
on.
Martin.
The OC was almost finished with his point.
I'm sorry. I apologize, OC.
No, you good.
No, you good, big bro. No, hey, you hot on the mic. You doing great.
You
So
doing great.
listen, Zach Martin is an option, but I don't think Zach Martin really wants to do that. That's the sense I get, and I think it will be a deficit to the right side to take him away from Tyler Biotish. Right? Tyler Biotish is secured in part by playing next to Zach Martin. And so that's another element to that would weaken the interior of the line. And so I think that the ultimate thing here is that you want to go with the best five, but you want to be prepared. I hope that Jason Peters proves me wrong over a 4-game period, but I just think it may be a tall order. It may be too much to ask. And I know they brought him up to the practice squad. I'm saying you need to activate this man to the active roster. You need to figure out how to get this man activated and get this man some reps, because I got a sneaking suspicion that you may need another tackle.
Right. Hey, you right on the point, the OC, because they already leaked out and said they're going to rotate the right tackle, Josh Ball and Jason Peters. So that let me know that they have They have reservations on that right side, and they have reservations on Jason Peters. They never said that they're going to rotate Tyron Smith. They said when he come out there, he's going to play. Right. He's going to start. So I listened to those words there. You got a defense that is a very young team. The Jacksonville Jaguars got a young defense. Trayvon Walker with 4 sacks with over 40 pressures. Oh, excuse me, the Josh Allen, not the quarterback, but the defensive edge guy over there, or linebacker, whatever he played to that capacity. He got 4 sacks and over 40 pressures. Arden Key this season been solid for the interior guy out of their system, and they have Devin Lloyd, who got 1 sack and 2 INTs, who's just flying around doing his thing. So I'm looking at all of that, plus a young team.
Don't forget Chad Muma over there.
Who?
Chad Muma over there,
Big
boss.
James' son.
Oh, yeah,
his
your
son.
That's my son.
His son.
That's my
Break it
son.
down.
That's my son. He got injured, but he was turning up. He had like a 12 tackle, 1.5 sack. Yeah, he was turning up.
Yeah, Muma. Yeah, you talked me into Muma, bro. Like you really did. Like you did. Like,
I know, because you was like, hell no.
I was like, and then I went back and watched the film. I was like,
yeah.
I said that's a baby Sean Lee. Just watch.
Yeah,
nah, I see it.
Yeah.
Everything about that you just said is accurate too.
Yeah. So man,
Go ahead,
we're gonna have our hands full. I don't think that the OC and Big Game James was here when I asked you to pull up that pass block run rate. Can you pull that back up one more time so that they can see that?
Which one?
Pass block win rate.
Oh yeah.
It's on my Twitter. It should be still at the top.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, while you pull that up, Boss Cowboy, I'm going to say one thing. This is not the time to develop Josh Ball. And I don't like that, because the time to develop Josh Ball was in the preseason and it's in the offseason. We got too much on the table to try to develop Josh Ball. I've watched and studied the film. I've seen all of Josh Ball plays. And Josh Ball is a liability in one-on-one pass coverage, and it's no two shakes about it. It's no dispute. It's not a matter of anything. And I'm not against Josh Ball personally. I'm saying that as a player, his feet are not trained not to open. He opens, he leans, he's stiff in the hips. He's seated high with his pass kick, which makes him susceptible to any power moves whatsoever. And also any quick and twitchy moves, because he sets very, very high. And so when you sit very, very high as a tackle, you can sit shallow. In other words, you don't get enough depth at times when you're one-on-one. He did get good depth at times to pass off a game, but I'm talking about depth on real one-on-one pass pros. And when people wiggle and they counter move on you and you sit really, really high, you have a problem putting your feet back in the ground and adjusting. And so Josh Ball has all those issues. And I'm telling you, man, he's not ready right now. He's just not. And so we don't need to experiment with Josh Ball. I've seen enough. And we're trying to go for 6 and get seeding in the playoffs, and we can't play with that. And we cannot afford for Dak to get sacked. Like he almost got sacked in the end zone with the Josh Ball defeat one-on-one. We can't afford for Dak to get rattled or any other thing to disturb Dak from getting into a consistent flow going into the playoffs. And I think that him getting hit because we're unstable at right tackle, if you play Josh Ball, could be a major deal.
I gotta jump in. Okay, let me let you listen. I'm gonna let you get it out, Law. I ain't interrupt nobody. So when I talk about this, I want nobody to interrupt me. All right, here we go, Law. You got it. I got it up.
So you ready with this one? I was showing Big Game James and the OC worst pass block win rate in the league. Can you break that down to us and for us, the OC? Because you're talking about footwork and things like that, kick slide with Josh Ball. That explained why he was on his belly when it was time for us to punch that ball into the goal line. We was looking at it like, how did Josh Ball get on his belly? He must don't have power too. But Coach Mike McCarthy said that there were some positive plays out of Josh Ball when they ran the ball. Can you break that down to us and for us though?
Yeah, I'll do it in a couple seconds here. Yeah, so Josh Ball is relatively solid on working up to the next level and working his feet when it's an outside zone on cutoffs and covering up his man. So he does a good job overall in the run game on that. But it's the pass plays that are the main issue here. And when you look at the Cowboys with a 48.2% win rate, that means that 52%, that means more than half, guys, that we're losing on one-on-one pass rushes, which means that we're overall, if you base these stats on whatever this was based on by Dom Cliffman, that we're losing one-on-one matchups and that our forte will then be to run the ball and to help make the pass protection more sure by doing what I've been preaching all season, which is play action pass, faking the run and then passing the ball. And it doesn't speak very, very well to a second-year player that's not developed, that hasn't had the reps, and that his primary strength is pass pro. And Josh Ball, his weakness is pass pro. It's not his strength.
All right, my turn. Ooh, bro, because I'm going to tell you.
You got some super chats too, boss.
Oh, man, I can't get to them. I just can't. Okay. See, you see how y'all want to cut me off when it's time for me to talk? I hear it. No, I'm messing with you. All right, so the Silver said they're winning, that's why. Yeah, in terms of that's why they're doing what they want to do, the politics and all of that. I feel that. This other super chat said, didn't Zach Martin get hurt back in 2020? He did.
Calf, yeah.
But a lot of people got hurt that year too. We needed a new strength and conditioning coach. He so happened to pass, and that it sounds weird, but that actually made us better. Just being honest, because we got the strength and conditioning coach from New England, and you know they don't have guys get injured. Oh man. Help say position coaches lives matter. So what are they saying about all of this, bro? They ain't got no say, in my opinion. But I'm gonna be short too. So when we look at what's going on at right tackle, and when we look at what's going on at receiver, it's almost like we paying for our sins of the offseason. So we played the politics, which angered Law earlier with Amari. And so what we doing? We out here playing around and patchwork what? Receiver, right? So then what else happened? We know, for those of us who did the film breakdown, which we did on the final word, that it was clear as day that Collins was better than Ball. What did we do? We kept forcing our draft guy, and we treated our free agent like a bastard. Now, as we're going into the playoffs, the places we played the politics with is what's primarily now we're looking at as what's supposed to be the rescue of our playoffs. This is weird. So, I want to kind of get down to some solutions and ask y'all some questions. All right, so here we go. Let me set this up, and then, because you know we gonna get down to the nitty gritty up in the final word. We got 3 options. We gonna have more likely by the time we talk, but let's look at 3 options. I want y'all to talk through this. I'm dead serious. Option 1. Terrence Steele injury contingency plan. T. Smith left tackle, T. Smith left guard, obviously Tyler center, Zach right guard, Peters as your full-time, right tackle. Option 1. Option 2, everything the same except right tackle is Collins. Option 3 is a wild one, but it could make sense in terms of best 5. And because this is an idea that came from Amp. At first I was like, nah. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? This youngster was thrown at left tackle with no reps. I want to get y'all thoughts on that, on those 3 options.
All right, before
I'll go first.
Oh, go ahead. 'Cause I'm gonna just name out. I'm just gonna name out, and I'm gonna try to remember this. Big Nate. This was his best top 5, and then you can go. The OC. Trying to go. I'm trying to remember it. He had Tyron Tyler, Martin, Peters. He said that would be his best 5. Did you have that list somewhere right here?
That's one. That's option 1.
That's option 1. So damn. So yeah, there you go.
Yep.
I'll lean on this option 1 then. Go ahead, OC.
Yeah. This is a real dice game, option game, right? It's a dice game because it's all predicated on the health and the play of Tyron Smith and how well Peters does. So your 2 tackles are the dice game proposition. It's not the rest of it. It's, can Tyron Smith play well? And I think, if he's healthy, he'll play well. And can he stay healthy? And can he give you, full-time play there for the rest of the year? We don't know. Can Peters give you full-time play at the right tackle position? Is he in good enough shape? Can he hold up? We don't know. I think it's going to be a struggle for him. Yeah. All right. So in light of me predicting what could possibly happen in the future, what I would do is I would start Avante Collins because I think he's ready to go. I would use Jason Peters as the backup swing, and I would forget about Josh Ball for right now. That's what I would do. I would go with option number 2. But if you have any type of injury, right, to either one of those tackles, Peters or either Tyron Smith, then it blows up. It blows up option A, which is why I don't want to go with option A. I'll go with this option because I think it's more likely to work over a 4 to 6 game period, however deep we go in the playoffs. So that would be my option.
Option 2.
And also, to boot, last thing, yes, Tyler Smith could go and play right tackle. So that's also a viable option. Ooh. But is it in his best interest? It's not in his best interest because he's had all left side reps. And I don't want to force him to have to do that at this point. Could he do it if we needed him to? Yes, he could. He's capable. But do I want to see that happen? No, I don't want to see it happen.
Interesting. Nobody is feeling option 3?
There's option 3 right there.
Well,
because option 3 got some young guys up in there. That's a little bit more stable to me. Now, if we did do, go ahead, Big. I ain't gonna cut you off.
Oh, I was just saying, I love the answers, but I'm looking at reality options. Okay, we can talk about this, but let's talk about reality options. Reality is Josh Ball's gonna play. Okay, Vontae Collins is not. That's the reality. So I mean, we can talk about it, and that's good. It's real, but that's not gonna happen. They're not going to do that. They're going to play Josh Ball, and they're going to play Jason Peters. So I'm going to go with option number 1 because I'm going to lean on the fact, and I agree with you, OC, but I'm going to lean on the fact that Jason Peters played 15 games last year with the Chicago Bears last year. So I feel like if he's had that little bit of time to sit out because he instantly, remember, I agree with you, OC, he came into camp out of shape, right? But he's had enough time to say he's lost 25 pounds. He's had, 4 or 5 games now to be able to get into game shape. He's a professional. He's been doing this, so that doesn't take those type of guys that long to get in shape, like a rookie or something like that. So he's been there and done that. And as I said, he played 15 games last year. So I'm going to lean on the fact that since he's played that many games last year, he's only 1 year older. He sat out half the year. He came in, got in shape, and still didn't play a lot of significant snaps. Came in and played very well in a 98 yard drive. And 4 games, I feel like I can trust it. And like you said, they're going with Josh Ball. They may have elevated Avante Collins, but unless there's something drastic happens with Josh Ball, he's just absolute trash, and Peters get hurt, I feel like, and I think they still would go to Zach Martin and ask him first before they would make any move, because I think they would still look at that option and see what he would say first. And if he balked at it, then I think they would go to Collins. But I don't think he's in the plans. It's Josh Ball, Jason Peters, and that's what they're rolling with.
I hate you, Big. I really
I
do,
hate you
bro.
too.
Like, I
dog.
can't stand you, dog. Cause see, some reality you just don't want to hear. So what you telling me?
I
So
think
what
Big is right. I think Big is right on what they go do. You know, I just don't think
It's
that's
not
what
the
they
right
should
thing.
do.
No,
yeah,
no,
it's
no,
not
I
necessarily
agree.
the right thing, but we know what they're gonna do though,
Bro.
You feel me?
Yeah.
We
And
know
this
what
is-
they're gonna do.
This is the wild thing of what you saying, Big. They go risk Dak to be right.
Right.
Bro,
Yeah, he gonna risk him. He gonna be either interception, or fumble, or a nasty sack before they say, "Oh, yank him." You know, Josh Ball ain't it. But we seen in preseason, like Josh Ball called somebody their job, right? Like if Josh Ball wasn't out there, maybe Ben DiNucci could have got a better resume to be put out there for another team to pick him up. Maybe the other quarterback, number 15, his name slips me. Maybe he could have went to another team. Maybe another team would have picked him up. Or even Cooper Rush, they probably would have said, you know what? You know, if with better protection, maybe he would have looked better, and another team would have picked him up. Now, I'm not dogging Cooper Rush for what he did for us in the regular season, but there goes to show you that, hey man, these political warfare with these offensive line is something serious. Let me ask y'all this. Let me ask all y'all right now. Who's your best right tackle on this team?
it's A. Collins right now.
I'm talking about will Zach Martin be your best right tackle on this team?
No.
Well,
No, because he ain't played there in a while.
Would Zach Martin be your, if you talking about best, would Zach Martin be your best right tackle right now?
No.
Who would be better than Zach
How
Martin?
would he be your best? Come on, who be better than Zach Martin?
Who be better than
Come
Zach
on
Martin?
Now, Avante Collins be better than Zach Martin, like for real?
I'm telling you
Because
guys.
Zach Martin came in and played the right tackle. 2020 played it well. Didn't he play it in college?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and who would be your best left tackle right now?
T. Smith, the young
T. Smith would help him.
the young
yeah.
one.
And Jason Peters,
Oh, the young one?
who be your best interior guard on left side right now?
Right now, T. Smith, the young one.
The young one.
Tyler Smith.
Okay. And who will be your best?
He's got the athletic ability.
We ain't gonna touch the center, so who will be your best right guard? If that the case, if that all
Zach
boils
Martin.
Zach
Yeah,
Martin and Connor
Martin.
McGovern will
Which
be
is
his
where you
backup,
believe it.
immediate
That's
backup.
backup.
Connor
Yeah.
McGovern is a good
Connor
right guard.
McGovern, if Zach Martin playing right tackle, you wouldn't live with that
That's
world.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Are
They
we
will
seeing a
consider
fight?
that, y'all. No, I'm just saying they're
I
going to
will
consider
live
that,
with it,
law.
but it's not reality. They're not moving Zach Martin to right tackle. 'Cause
Why
he
it's not
ain't played in
reality?
a few
They
years
did
and
it
he don't want to
before.
play.
It is too a reality. If
They
he
did it
doesn't
before.
balk at an OC, yes, it is. It's a reality.
They
Wouldn't
did
that
it
be
He
the
before.
doesn't
best for
balk
this
at it, and he
team?
takes it one.
Connor McGovern ain't
They
nobody
not gonna do
sneeze at
that.
inside.
Hold on. They did it before.
Why
OC.
wouldn't they do that? Why
They
wouldn't
did
they
it
do
before.
that? The only reason why they didn't stay with the OC is because he said, "I'm not playing right tackle no more."
Cause see, that's an
That's
option.
the
I
reason
should-
why they didn't
That's
do
an
it.
option. That's an option we should draw up. We should draw
They're
up.
gonna
Just
do
for
it.
conversation. Option Zach Martin at right tackle, Connor McGovern at right guard. Yeah, that's an option.
Yeah.
That is an
That's
option.
a damn good.
That
Dog,
might
that's
not
if
be
you
a
talking
We
bad
ought to put a
option.
poll
Dog,
up
if you
on
talk-
Twitter
listen,
and Facebook
if you're
and
talking
YouTube.
about the best
Yeah,
five,
I can send
for
all
real,
these clips to you, Law, and we'll
'cause
vote on it.
We talked about it. And
Good
I think
idea.
John Owen, somebody said it on Twitter, but we had talked about it, and you mentioned it, Law, because he played it in 2020. He played it good. The only reason he played it very well. The only reason why he didn't stay at right tackle is because he said, "I'm not playing right tackle no more. Terrence Steele needs to play it," and that's why Terrence Steele went back out to right tackle and he took his lumps. Because remember, we were balking at Terrence Steele going back to right tackle because he was getting his butt whooped, and they had Zach Martin at right tackle, but he said, "I'm not playing that no more." And then they were like, "Oh, why ain't you taking one for the team?" He said, "I ain't doing it." So now if you look at the options right now, I think that is the better option, but I don't, because his body is older. They say it's not good for it. You know it better than me, OC.
Right.
You know it better. And they say it's not good when your body is older to go from right guard to right tackles because it's going to stress your body more and you're more susceptible to injury. And I think that's one of the reasons, OC, that's why he's balking and doesn't want to go to the right tackle because he could be more susceptible to injury. Pulls, just like you said. But if we're talking about the best option, OC, I think that is the best option. Zach Martin at right tackle, Connor McGovern, because Connor McGovern, he's played great at left guard, but he's a damn good right guard. Let's keep it real.
And he's
when he played right guard in 2020, he was a damn good right guard. And then if you had Tyron Smith and you kick Tyler Smith inside at left guard, that's a damn good starting five right there.
Let me throw this at you, too.
I like this fight, bro. This is a good fight. I didn't expect this fight to break out. This is a good
guard,
one.
Connor McGovern only allowed 1 sack, and he only had 1 penalty. And that 1 penalty, everybody knew of it, and that was in the Green Bay Packers game. But outside of that, he only allowed 1 sack at guard. That ain't bad. That's Connor McGovern.
Remember, they said he was trash at Connor. Remember, they've been killing Connor McGovern. He's a trash left guard. Trash.
Hold on, real quick, OC.
Not you, OC, because you was on it.
Real quick. Give me a hand. Give me a hand, because I made option 4 that fast.
Oh, you got the options together? Yeah.
Man, I made option 4 quick, boy. Y'all give boss a head. Yeah, let's go. This is option 4. All right, let's go. Go ahead, OC.
No, I'm saying I've always said that Connor McGovern is a good football player. I think he's a good guard. I think he could also play center. So I'm not, I'm actually on his side. I think that he can do that. I just think that in terms of raw power and physicality, he doesn't have what Tyler Smith has at the guard position. That's the only difference. Now, Zach Martin, theoretically, right, could play right tackle, but if he didn't want to play it a couple years ago, he definitely don't want to play that thing right now.
If he want to ring, he might have to play it. If you want to ring, I mean, beggars can't be choosers right now, Zach Martin.
You're thinking in the perfect world, boss cowboy. You're not thinking about his own selfish intentions and what he really want to do.
I'm talking about his selfish intentions. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Listen, okay, but he allowed Terrence Steele to go get his butt kicked. His rookie, sorry guys.
But that was also without Dak. That year, Dak was injured.
I understand that, but I'm telling you, based upon the stiffness and how he moves, I'm just going to predict if they put him out there, he's going to struggle. I'm just telling you. You heard it here first. So if they put Zach Martin at right tackle because of fighting in a phone booth versus fighting on the street corner. That's how it's like. And he's going to struggle for a little bit out there because of flexibility and pass rush range. I'm just simply telling you, he's still a really good right guard, but I'm telling you. I'm sorry?
Will he struggle more than Ball?
No.
No, but I mean, come on, Law. You understand that Ball
is we talking about top 5. This is a good debate.
I'm not trying to figure out an option without a ball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just all I'm trying to figure out.
All right, so once again, recap. Option 1,
right?
Which one of them tackles go down likely because both of their injury histories are bad. To expect both of those guys, let's knock on some wood. Let's say this. Let's say they're going to get hurt. Let's say this. We should prepare as if they're going to get hurt. Let's say that. That's better. Yeah. All right. So we should prepare. So that means your contingency plan has to be priority. So that's option 1. Option 2, we already went through it. Option 3 and option 4. So we need y'all to vote on this in the chat. We already fought over this in the final word. I didn't really give my take on it, so let me give my take on it. I'm starting to feel option 3 with 4 games left because to me, that line gives you the most durability.
Yeah.
That's it. That gives you the most.
No, that's not happening.
I know it's not happening, and I'm not talking about what's going to happen.
That is the best option.
Listen, I don't make content based on what the Cowboys are going to do. I don't.
I know that. I know that. But
I talk about what they should do, not what they're going to do, bro. I'm not in that.
Damn well, he is not even going to sniff no
I know, bro, but I'm just saying, bro. Listen. we know they listen to us, so I'm gonna put the ideal out there, big dog. Period.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, that's a good one. But
The only reason why I say I like option 3 is because I can literally see Tyron. I can literally see Tyron having hiccups, and then you just put Jason Peters at left tackle, right? So that at least alleviates some of that. And look, Tyler Smith in Tulsa, he played right tackle, right? And I know there's been many of reps since then, but if we hear tomorrow, because I think the media will have access to practice tomorrow, if we hear Tyler Smith taking right tackle reps, then I say, man, Boss Cowboys is ahead of the curve with that one.
Yeah, then
with the cross training,
Boss Cowboys is right. I will jump right on there and say you was right, boss, if I hear that.
Because I did do a whole video say the Dallas Cowboys and fans need to divorce old offensive line theories. I did. You know what I'm saying?
You did.
Yeah. And
you liked that tweet though earlier today, boss.
Which one?
Where you dude said Kellen Moore. He said, I'll be glad when Kellen Moore gone and Mike McCarthy can come back with his West Coast principles. I said, but Kellen Moore is not going to be gone. And you like that comment because
bro, listen.
That's why you probably is like, I hate him.
Big. Listen, bro, big.
I hate Big.
It's time to bring it back.
There saying, but he ain't going nowhere.
It's time to bring it back. You already know what I'm bringing back to. You know. You already know. Yep. This what we seeing, bro. This is all that booty. See, big. I gotta give you credit, bro. You was right. You was right. You was like, calm down on all the Kool-Aid. They are going to do something, and they are, bro. All right, listen. I got one more topic, bro. I know y'all on your curfews, but this is something that I know the world want to talk about real quick. And we go just handle it and move on. But this is a good one, though. This is a good one. Y'all gonna like this talk. I think that was a good talk, at least the beginning of a debate, because that debate, I really do believe is going to happen inside the building. I really do. I feel like they gonna have to have a debate over that contingency plan on how they go work it out. I really do. And they need to be thinking and not trying to develop ball. That is literally crazy, bro. That is crazy.
But we all know ball gonna be out there this week. Yeah,
that's crazy, bro. That is you risking your quarterback to be right, boy. They wild. Check this out.
The flaws that might be there. You could have a team with as a division champ that doesn't have as good a record as one that's third in their division, but still. There's some reasons for that too, competitively, that we strive for. I think it's a great one. It keeps it's exciting for our fans, and the main thing, it really, since I've been in the NFL now for 30-something years, it maintains the promise in each of our 32 markets that our team has still got a chance. We can get in the big game. And we all know this crazy football, and if you get in the tournament and you got 3-2 games to play, you could be world champs.
Here we
go.
That's
what it's about. It's who is standing at the end, and that is our game.
Here we go.
Jerry, last one for you here. Do you have any update on Jonathan Hankins? I know he had the pec strain, but do you have any idea how long he'll be out?
You could see Jonathan back for the playoffs. He won't be back before then.
All right, let's talk. All right, we missing that big dog. What's your thoughts on that? I'm gonna pick somebody
backwards, man. It's hustling backwards, man. So I get it, right? We talked about our precious draft picks, and before anybody say, "Hey, Law, you just gotta let it go," I'm not gonna be mad anymore. I already got it off my chest. You got rid of Big John Ridgeway, right? Didn't get nothing in return because you put him on the practice squad, and the Washington team came and scooped him up. We all liked Jonathan Hankins when he was the acquisition. Outside of the Green Bay Packers game, I don't think that since he's been on his team that they allowed a singular runner to rush over 100 yards. if you're not counting the Chicago game. So I do like what he brought to the table, the way he fit right inside, pushing big body, can't stop me. For the 9.5, you got to sell 1 million copies. I know it's for the 9.8, but I had to put 9.5 in there. So now we got my guy Big Bo. We do have Navel, Gallimore, and Osa. I've been talking about this as it relates to this front, and I think that we haven't even talked about it on the final word, is that you want your big boy to gobble up, to eat up, but I blame, and I know this is a long talk, y'all, but I got to get this off. I think that we do not see the full capacity of Michael Parsons because of the way this team is structured, and they utilize the Michael Parsons as a specialized edge rusher and not a complete linebacker. And I'm looking at this team, and I'm thinking that, man, we would be so much better if we can just fit Parsons at Mike linebacker, have Damone Clark as the other linebacker, and have Jabril Cox or someone else out there. And I'm not dogging LVE, but if you have all of those things in place, I think that this would also alleviate some of the run issues that we got. And I'm not trying to get LVE out of there. I'm just calling it out. But you still need a big boy inside. But I know I'm all around everywhere. But y'all go ahead, man. I had to squeeze that.
OC.
Yeah, man. So at the end of the day, Hankins has been really a fantastic addition to this team. I'm just glad he didn't tear his shoulder or tear his pec, right? 'Cause yeah, that looked pretty bad. So he's definitely been a huge difference maker in the A and the B gap in particular. And this is the opportunity for guys who didn't get as much run to step up and make their contribution. Neville Gallimore in particular. Quentin Bohannon, he has to grow up and be very consistent and extremely physical. And he looks physical in spots, but I think he just gets tired quickly, and they kind of wear him down. So we're going to have to be stout on the inside some type of way. We're going to have to figure out if these guys can't play straight up, then we're going to have to do stunts and twists inside with the defensive tackles to mess up blocking double teams and things of that nature. So I hope he gets back in a hurry. This is an issue that the Cowboys have had for the last several years, and I hope this season they address it in the draft and they actually stick with a person that can come in and help the Cowboys in that A gap.
Real quick, before we go to you, Big, Mr. Dunn said Collins hasn't played, so how can we be confident in his option right now? Well, actually, him and Ball had the most reps in preseason out of all players. And on the final word, we broke down all of them side by side, play by play, and graded each one together. So it's really not about knowing that he has starting reps, which he also did have starting reps with Minnesota and Pitt. We dealing with a year 3 player, not a year 2 player like Ball. So we dealing with a year 3 player with experience. And all of us have done also research on that as well. So when you're looking at him at right tackle, it's not about him being just super good. It's about him being your best option. But go ahead, Big.
I mean, y'all know how I felt about Hankins. I wanted him for years.
Shout out to you on that too. For years. We did a show on that 2 years ago. I remember.
Right. You feel me?
Yep.
So I'm frustrated.
You brought him
big
to
time.
me. You brought him to me. You said, "Boss, go look up Hankins," and I did a breakdown because of you. That's a fact.
That's dope.
And you see what he's done. I mean, he's made the impact stuff in that middle, even in that game before he got hurt with the Texans. He's doing what he's supposed to do, right? He's holding that center, he's that guard, and he's allowing those linebackers to be free. I mean, LVE has played better, right? And what is LVE plays better when last year when Neville Gallimore came out of nowhere and was really plugging that hole, LVE played better. So the linebackers play better when you can hold that front. So that's going to be a big loss. Just like you said, Big Bo's got to step up. He's got to mature. He's got to get better. I don't think he's done bad, but Hankins is a veteran. You feel me? And Bo is young. So Bo's got to step up. Second-year player, bro, you got to step up, dog, like right now. Carlos Watkins, I think he's played admirably. And just like you said, they might have to do more stunts and twists. But the guy who's got to step up the most is that guy right there, number 96, Neville Gallimore. He's had a so-so career. And he was supposed to be one of the cornerstones, right?
True.
We all was pumping up Neville Gallimore as being that guy in the middle. He's going to be this and that. And he came in with reckless abandon after that injury last year, right? But he's just been so-so this year. And I know he's not the true 0-1 tech. He's more of the pass rushing D tackle. But he's going to have to sacrifice and probably suck it up a little bit, play that middle, and play it strong. Because right now he's reminding me of Collins. Remember Collins? That we had, Malik Collins.
Malik Collins, yeah.
He's starting to remind me. He's starting to remind me of Malik Collins a little bit. Start stuffing that middle. Yeah. I know, right? And I know you don't probably like that position, but if you want another contract, because you coming up in them contract years, you gonna have to step up, dog. So I think the eyes to me are on Neville Gallimore more than anybody else. Bo for sure, but Neville Gallimore, he's a veteran. We need him to play out lights out. And he's stepping his game up right now. That's somebody, to me, I got the bullseye on.
So, my thoughts on this Jonathan Hankin things is a little bit backwards. And I want to get y'all thoughts on this. Well, maybe not, because y'all talk long. But I think, actually, him being out up until the playoffs is going to be a blessing. I think it's going to work for us. Because as I look at the pattern, it's almost like competition and the environment of competition has brought the best out of a lot of players. We saw all that Odell Beckham talk make Gallup and CeeDee Lamb step up. We saw Ferguson and the good blocking by the tight ends help Schultz game on his blocking, which we always hating on that before this year. I think, the impact of Jonathan is going to push Quentin and Neville and Watkins. I really do. And I've been seeing the last couple of games a turn up out of Neville as well as Bohanna. Matter of fact, I do not believe at all in PFF, but the person that had the highest grade this previous game was Quentin Bohanna on the whole D. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things to where I want Hamilton fresh for the playoffs. Because at this point, that's what I feel like we're preparing for, the playoffs, and trying to win the division and win that race. But hey, if we got to go on the road, I want to go on the road with a healthy Jonathan Hankins.
True.
So we got us a fat super chat from Coach Marv. Coach Marv, he giving them dollars. Let me take the super chat. He must really want this out. He say all the options of the may struggle if the game plan is going to go 5 wide with 40 drop back passes, even with ball. Yep. Now, even with ball, the correct game plan of a physical run, heavy play action, pass blocking, all O-line option will work. Yeah, so to his point, Coach Marv, going back to these options, I want to say something real quick too about Kellen Moore, and I'm going to get right back off Kellen Moore. There is no way Kellen Moore can go into the rest of this season with T. Smith as your left tackle and Peters as your right tackle and throw the ball 40 times. All of us should be ready to storm the Capitol. For real. Bro, if you come out pass happy with those two tackles at their age, I don't care if we win, bro. If you know football, you should be upset. Very. Because Kellen Moore will prove without a shadow of a doubt that he's the most selfish mofo on the planet. Go ahead, Law. I can tell you itching.
No. I'm just saying that, this could be a blessing in disguise now, since they already came out and said that Josh Ball, his best tape is when they run the ball. So,
yeah,
this could be a blessing.
Everything.
Man. This could be.
It could.
Get back
Everything.
to running the ball.
God is really trying to push Kellen Moore to run the ball. He like Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Man, that dude. That dude like Pharaoh, dog. That dude.
That's what it is.
He won't let up. All right, we got some field sessions, bro. Got a couple of them. Yeah, we got a couple of them. All right. So on the film session, I promised that we was gonna get into effectively using the running backs. I also got a film session on LVE because he had a hell of a game.
He did. Well, it's hard for me.
As a matter of fact, he is my star player of the week.
He
is
should
my,
be.
He my star player of the week. Like I promised Amp. I said, bro, I'm not gonna believe stats because I don't believe stats. I gotta go check him out, and I checked him out, bro. His best game. He looked like rookie LV, which is a good sign. Straight up, and the timing could not be better. So check this out. So we gonna start off first with this run game, real quick, and because to me, we still not effectively us using throwing into the running back smart. So here we go.
The OC.
The film breakdown.
All right.
Okay. So this is a single back formation. Go ahead, let it run. And so, you just have a real simple out route by the running back coming out of the backfield. He stutter steps as if he's going to step up and block, and then he comes out of the backfield. So that's fine. That actually holds the linebacker a little bit.
And I think he should have actually. He don't disguise it to me well, OC. When you look at the fact that that linebacker was already trying to break out in space, and then when he sees Zeke, he sees to that zone.
but
Like if they would have
yeah,
delayed it, he would have had way more space with just a little
yeah,
delay.
but it was plenty though, boss. I see it a little bit different if you run it back to the top because you had the outside linebacker faking a blitz, right? And so when he saw Ezekiel step up toward the line of scrimmage, he backpedaled. So you see how he backpedals? That creates the space.
Yeah.
So that's plenty of space because of the play call on the potential blitz. So that was actually fine. That was okay. All right, so you can look at him here, and you can see kind of the operation of him coming out of the backfield. Now that is not
design.
really. Yeah, it's not the best design. It's kind of a runoff. It's a runoff wheel route is what it is. And you could stall him a little bit and freeze that linebacker to create even more space. But they wanted to get CeeDee Lamb on the crosser, so they used him to use a runoff to create space. So I see what he was doing there, but it could have been executed a little bit better.
So this is
and so that's the worst one. Okay,
that's the worst one. Yeah,
that's the worst one because
let me explain this one, OC, because I know this from a cornerback position. So they was playing cover 2 all day, so that's why you see that corner sitting and making it hard for that receiver to get an outside release. Now, what the corner is doing now is he's sitting, and what he's doing is he was waiting for the quarterback to make the throw, either to Gallup in that hole or to Zeke, and he was going to break on the ball. That's why if Kellen Moore would just delay these leak outs, it would actually create more space, because then what a corner's supposed to do when there's no threat in his flats, he's supposed to keep sinking. That's the design of cover 2. He's supposed to sink into the flats until a threat arises. So if he just stalls the running back for just a half second, that creates more space, but that's also what killed this play.
Yeah, and another thing that you could do is you can fake the chip on that, and you could have Zeke pull up closer to the numbers and kind of break off the flat route, which would have gave him naturally more space. But that's a coaching point.
Now, showing this leak out, this is an opportunity leak out, where basically, obviously, the ball didn't go to that leak out, but we showing that if sometimes you have your running backs sit back as if they're blocking, then leak out, it creates massive space. So just watch. What if he would have threw that to Pollard right here?
Yeah, well, the chip and release in between the guard and the tackle actually hides him. And so what happens is that the linebacker continues to drop and he takes his eyes off of the back, which invariably will leave him wide open, which is really the better way to do it is an interior chip and release. You see, it's
Yep,
nobody there.
it's
And
nobody.
Pollard is going to be sprinting, probably at least to the 10-yard line, at least, if not a touchdown.
I'm not mad at that big play, but what we're trying to show is that we still not creative enough at throwing to the running backs.
Yep.
We not. Just keeping it real. This is another one to where they leak him out fast, but Pollard is just such an athlete that he makes this corner miss. But go ahead, OC.
No, man. I mean, this is a design swing route. Now, CD could get you a block here. He doesn't really get you a block, but that's Pollard. To your point, being a superior athlete and just scoring a touchdown there. Great job by him. Great body control and good feet. And so this is single back again as well, and you got to overload to the right. And you got really and this is one of the plays I hate. Run this back. This is one of the plays I hate.
I wish he can just throw
All right,
that
I
one
hate
away.
it. Yeah, I hate it
Throw that
because it's a delay screen with misdirection motion when really you got numbers going to the left side. And this is the part about decision maker. You could have ran a jet sweep. You could have ran a zone play here. You got overload, strong side, right? So you doing all this, okay? You doing all this and all that, dude. And it's just bad. It's a bad design. It's too much. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I ain't.
So if you look at the running back in this particular play, you got a spread type formation, and take the check down, and this is on Dak, by the way. This is one of the bad throws by Dak.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's bad.
Dak short armed this football. Dak should have put that ball on his upfield shoulder, and Tony Pollard would have had a chance to make a move. He would have just put it on his upfield shoulder right there. He would have had a chance to make a move and get the first down, but he didn't. He short armed it, so Tony had to come back, get the ball, and just fall down. So that was on Dak.
And let me also add to this.
His last read, he had over the top. Yep, but he got off of that and looked he went from right to left. You go read from high to top, high to low, and he tried to hit him underneath, but he didn't get enough arm under it. You're right.
Yeah, and this is another one to where with just a little bit of a delay, I noticed from playing corner, you go get more space because once again, the corner is not going to sink or keep sinking because he has a threat now in the flats, and that's the running back. So
yeah, and it looks. Go ahead, boss.
So if you want to create space, Kellen, especially going against a team that run cover 2 all day, these designs are just poor. Like this is a bad throw by Dak, but you can create space when you understand what the defense is doing. Because notice how that cornerback was sinking, but what he does is he split the offensive threats. That's what we taught to do in corner in cover 2, is you split the threats and you break on the ball. But if there's no threat, you keep sinking. That's why you got to delay it.
And on top
and it looks
of that
like
too,
they might be.
No. I'm just gonna say, in just the principles of cover 2, the weaknesses are seams, your post, so your post routes too, and they giving you underneath. And the Cowboys should know that. Dak should know that. He should prepare himself after he goes through his reads that he got his underneath that's available for him, regardless, because it's cover 2.
This is the last one. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. And it's just design, right? And it's like he's telling them, "Hey, man, leak out of the backfield," but he's not being purposeful on giving him a wheel route, giving him a out route, giving him a wide a swing route, right? Those are all different routes, right? A wheel is different than a swing. A swing is different than an out route, and he's just leaking out, meandering without a understanding of where the defender is. And that's why I said sometimes, no offense, But we call plays based upon a system and not based upon a scheme. Because if you really scheming, then you're really going to make that back go to where the open space is. And so you see a little bit of improvement area for us on that for sure.
All right, so we got one more film session, Law. You ready?
Yep.
All right. So this film session is on LVE. So first of all, shout out to LVE because this to me was the best game of the year for LVE. And I'm not gonna say a word. Y'all got this. You OC, y'all got this. I'm gonna just let the tape play. But here we go.
The OC.
The film breakdown.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, so I really want to give LVE his flowers on this because what you're going to see with a total of 14 tackles, 9 solo, 1 tackle for loss, you're going to see LVE extremely active. And what you're going to notice on this film, because I watched him play already, is a lot of really, really great recognition. And you're going to see him attacking, reading his keys, and making plays just fast to the ball, right? Understanding, right? He's sitting on that particular play because of the potential of a handoff, and he gets the quarterback when he pulls it off. So pulls it out. So look at LVE here. Again, you'll notice him up on the line of scrimmage, extremely aggressive, and he's in there in the mix. He's reading his keys to be sure that he's not going for fakes, and then he's coming downhill making tackles. And one of my favorite plays will be coming up here in the next couple. But take another look at LVE playing the middle linebacker position. That's a counter trap. Boom, he feels. And that's what he's supposed to do, right? That's what he's supposed to do. Now, I wanted to bring a little bit more thud there to him and make the guy go back and not carry him, but that's not really his game. But what he does do is he does see the counter trap. When you see counter trap, you shoot it play side, and boom, you come down in there. Now he kind of got pushed on his butt a little bit, but hey, man, he's where he needs to be. Okay, so take another look at LVE here playing him in the linebacker position. And this was a very, very physical game because the Texans were running downhill at the Cowboys all day long. And so there he is again. Good job, right? Not going for the pull and attacking the quarterback, but he tacked the running back who got the handoff. So that was really good recognition by LVE. And so LVE, I love this. That's vintage LVE. That's vintage LVE. LVE sprints underneath the block and he makes that tackle, man. That's a great job by LVE. One of his best plays.
Yes, indeed.
All right,
and
so
reading
his keys and great recognition, LV. Look at that, and that's studying. You see that? That's study. He saw the jet sweep.
Go back to that one, and you'll see that he beat 33 to that spot, and that's the LVE. That's the linebacker that you want, and coming down and fill from hook to flat there to make that tackle, man. That's remarkable. Shout out to LVE on that one.
Shout out, man, for real.
Yeah. He had great ball recognition, saw the jet, and he got there in a hurry. So, fantastic tackle and play by LVE. Now, if you look at him here, again, this is another read option type play. And again, LVE is doing a good job of sitting in the hole, reading it right? He's not getting faked out by the fake of the quarterback pulling and acting like he has the ball. He's reading, he's seeing the handoff, and he's playing really with a lot of discipline. Boom, right there. That's one of my favorite plays right there. Running downhill, taking his legs out. Great job, LVE, attacking the LOS. Attack the line of scrimmage. Right here. Attack. Here we go. Good job. Good job, LVE. Get him on the ground. Good job.
And he looks
Can I say something right quick?
In this game. Yeah.
Go ahead, Big.
The thing I noticed about LVE, the thing that had bothered me about him, how he was late anticipating, or when they were coming down, when he would be coming downhill, when they were running out jet sweeps, when they would sweep the ball, he would hesitate. The thing I noticed out here, how he was, if you notice linebackers, especially, they like you to stay on their toes. They want you to be jumping and be anticipating where the play is going. This game, I seen him jumping up a lot at the line of scrimmage like he was waiting for the play. He was anticipating the play. I haven't seen that from LVE now. And I noticed, I don't know green dot or anything like that, but I seen him doing a lot of the calls right there. So maybe that made him feel a little good too, where he's making calls. He feels more involved in the game, and maybe that gets him a little bit more excited. But we seen the last 2, maybe 3 games LVE has stepped up. But Jonathan Hankins, I believe, has helped that. with being able to protect him and him be able to attack. But I just feel like there's been some liveliness. I've been seeing LVE been really jumping around. He's been real enthusiastic. So I don't know what's really happened. But let him keep it up because we're going to need that in the stretch run, especially against these next 4 teams.
And just to piggyback off of what you said there, he didn't practice all that week. He had illness. So whatever he was ill of, can he get it again and play like that this weekend? Because, man, I like this LVE.
Man, and let me give, since we all kind of giving a little bit of commentary, let me give a little bit of commentary. This also should be evidence that the final word don't hate on players. We just hate on play.
Big facts.
That's what people need to realize is that if you play good, we gonna give you credit just as aggressive as we was giving you the business.
Right.
That's the main thing I want y'all to see. And that's what I would want people to do. Call it out when you see it, but also give credit when you see them turn the corner.
I mean, that's what make good coaches, right? We've all played the game. We've all coached. I mean, we've had some kind of facet of that. What is that? That, to me, makes you a great player and makes you a great type coach. When you can understand, like we are doing on the final word. We don't sit there and say, oh, no, it don't matter. Hey, no.
He'll never be.
Sorry.
Nah.
Go on my video. My last video. I just gave DeMarcus Lawrence all kind of flowers.
Oh,
yes,
my
I
God.
did. Go on the video. Go listen to that video. I gave him all kind of flowers. I'm still going to get my $50 holla.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. We're still getting paid, OC. Still getting paid. You've been playing your ass off, D-Law. Been playing your ass off, but you ain't getting them stacks, and I need to get my money.
Hey, let's finish this film session. Let's finish this film session, dog. Let's finish this film session.
You gotta come up with 6.
Can we finish the film session? Okay. Or y'all gonna troll me and we gonna get back to the film. Y'all know y'all messing up this pre-recorded video, man. Come on now.
Get the film, baby.
All right, let's go to the film. God, dog.
No, but LVE really did a good job running downhill, recognizing his keys to the linebacker, right? So if you notice, anytime that he saw action, right, straight ahead action, you see him stepping up the field, right? He's recognizing the straight ahead isolation plays. Even on that play, that was an ISO play. He's stepping up the field. Notice how LVE reads his keys, and I haven't talked about this, but I'll get into this a little bit more since we kind of going through it here. Notice how he's reading the run keys. Okay, very good. He drops where he needs to drop. Here he is, and look at the speed. Look at the speed. Look at the speed to get to the corner. Look at the speed.
And when he
so
says
great job by
keys,
LVE.
You know, linebackers slow until you know. And we was talking about with LVE, when will he know? And now we're seeing him on tape. He's reading his keys, what the OC just pointed out. But then he sees the ball, he flies, rally, and chase, and he's not anticipating. He's going straight to it, and that is what you want out of your linebacker. Blood in the water, being a shark and attacking. I love it.
Love it.
Hey, Law. Just to your point, when you're talking about the linebacker situation, I know where you read about what Michael Parsons said about playing on that line of scrimmage, right? Mm-hmm. Where he was talking about, when he played trench, he said trench warfare is a lot different. He said when he played linebacker, he was a lot more fresh. Now he's playing on that edge. He said he's a lot more tired. Mm-hmm. He getting hit every play. And he's getting wrapped. They're going after him at that line of scrimmage. Now he's a marked man. You feel me? So to your point, I think they need to be looking to your point where you're talking about Michael Parsons maybe playing more linebacker. We need to keep Michael Parsons fresh, right? We love him when he's rushing that quarterback, right? We love it. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at what he's saying. Michael wears this stuff on. He don't hold nothing back. So if he's telling you right now, dog, I'm kind of tired, dog, we're going to need him in that stretch run, right? We're going to need him these 4 games in these playoffs. So it would behoove us to continue to probably slide him back at linebacker and keep him fresh and have these other guys step up and pick and choose the spots for him to rush that quarterback and not keep on having him rush, because I've noticed he's starting to wear down these last couple games and he's been getting nicked up because the teams are saying, we're not going to let Michael Parsons beat us. You feel me? Teams are coming out now saying, it ain't going to be Michael Parsons that beat us. We'll let other people, but it ain't going to be Michael Parsons. So they're going to hit him, chip him. And if he's saying this on Twitter, you don't think these coaches and stuff are listening to that on Twitter? Oh, he getting tired, getting hit at the line of scrimmage. Oh, let's attack him with that tight end and running back and keep hitting him.
Sure, he 30.
That's why I don't talk so much on Twitter. Stop talking so much on Twitter, Micah. Shush.
He 30 to 45 pounds
he looked
light.
tired too.
He 30 to 45 pounds light, than the edge rusher. You see what I'm saying? Y'all go Google how big D-Law is and Sam and how they can absorb some of that.
265.
Right. So Parsons being light like he is. And Parsons strong. We're not taking that away from him.
Right.
But size is size and size matter. So that's why I was saying all of that.
And see, listen, man,
and
we ain't gonna never finish this. I quit on trying to finish the film session, but listen, I'm
so sorry, boss.
No, it's all good. I quit. I quit.
But
no, y'all
I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. Y'all
sorry.
turned to a very important subject that I'm glad that y'all segued into. Coach Marv called me before we went live, and we talked about this for about 30 minutes. The one-dimensional nature that Quinn is using Michael Parsons is really, truly not ideal.
Right.
So, from this standpoint, the physical damage that he's taking, that's one, and y'all brought that up, but it's also the schematic disadvantage that we don't have anymore when we're not moving them around. Mm-hmm. Because if you was moving them to middle linebacker where the whole offense had to account whether he was on the left, the middle, or the right, that just creates chaos on the offense. When you single him to a pass rusher only on one side, then it takes away the confusion and it allows them to target him. So, Quinn,
pick it up.
And it might not be Quinn, because I told Coach Marv this. I said, Quinn said this. Quinn knows everything that we said. I heard him say this multiple times on the advantage of moving him around and attacking with him. Could this be coming from front office? Because Quinn, I don't know, bro, but I agree with y'all. Can we finish this film session, please? Jesus Christ.
Go ahead.
But anyway, there we go.
All right. Let me see.
That ain't nothing. That's a tap tackle.
But
Credit for it.
He's still showing that he got there.
Yeah, that's a tap.
He's still showing that he got there.
On the stat sheet, that counted as a tackle. I want y'all to know that.
And so,
the whistle.
Physical.
Slam.
Yeah.
I like
That's a
that.
slam.
He drops down the hash, and he steps up and makes a tackle when they dump it off to the running back. So that's just him playing fundamentally sound, basic football. And now look at the fake handoff, and the handoff actually there, and then the fake pull out by the QB, and he's there to field. So he's doing just a really, really good job on this game of just having gap integrity, playing with a lot of discipline, and reading his keys appropriately, running downhill and making a lot of tackles, which is what he did.
And the Lunatic, good to see you, bro. It's good to see you, the Lunatic. It's always I love you in terms of the Cowboy Nation, man. It's just always good to see you in the building, and just we all know you and we appreciate you. And clap it up for this comment from the Lunatic. Before we get into our final words and talk about the Jags in our final words, that's so true. Competition done brought the best out of everybody.
Right.
just it's working. It's working with Josephs. It's working with Bland. Shoot, don't get me started on, man. I ain't gonna get started. Let's get into these Jags real quick and get up out of here. Because a lot of people want to kind of hear our commentary on the Jags. So let's go around the circle with these Jags, and then we can give our final words, so we can do it all together. I don't care how we do it.
Yeah, we do it all together, boss.
All right, let's go. So you want to kick it off with the Jags?
Yeah, I'll kick it off, man. So, the Jags are a team, man, that have shown signs of life. They got some good talent. They got some good players. And so they're a younger team, and they go come and they're going to try to battle the Cowboys to try to take the next step as a team to be a respected team in the league. So they got some guys that can make plays offensively, and they got some good defenders. So this is not a team that we can go in and be sleepwalking and not come ready to play, because trust me, much like the Texans, but they have a better team, in my opinion, overall. They're going to try to throw the kitchen sink at the Cowboys and come and have a really, really great showing. So if the Cowboys can maintain focus and really smooth out this offensive line, and defensively, we got to pick it up a little bit on the physicality, in my opinion, especially at the beginning of the game. And if we're able to do that, we should get the victory. So that's my final word.
So my final word on these Jags is they are playing for purpose. They still trying to win the division. That makes them dangerous. So, and we seem to have an identity issue to where, because of Kellen Moore, who knows who's gonna show up? Are we gonna come out passing again, or we gonna come out trying to establish the run game? And y'all did a good job of already explaining that they have a really good D too, and they starting to kind of get in rhythm. Low key, they starting to kind of find some confidence. So when I look at Jags, I feel like this is the dangerous game again. This is not an opponent to sleep on, especially if we go play how we played the Texans. We could walk out of there with a Lola if we're not careful. But if we play within ourselves and play Dallas Cowboy football, we go walk them Jags like we should walk anybody. That's my final word.
My final word is this. This is the 4-game stretch I've been talking about. These 4 teams were this was like playoff atmosphere, and it starts right here with the Jags. Agreeing with all you guys, they have a good team. They're still in contention. They're second in the AFC South, so they're still trying to get to the playoffs. They got a good coach. Doug Peterson knows about the Cowboys. He knows about the history, so he knows how to deal with us. And this is a team that, honestly, we have to get on these guys early, stomp them out early. This has to be a team you must stomp out early because Trevor Lawrence is starting to get confidence about themselves. They're starting to say he's the number 1 draft pick that they've been touting. So you don't want them to get any kind of confidence, and this is going to be at home for them. So they're going to be rushes, and the Jags really want to beat us. And you don't think that those Jaguars looked at that Texans game and said, you know what, they struggle against the Texans, we can beat them, and we're at home. So they're already going to have that confidence feeling that they're going to beat us. So Dallas has to come in at the very beginning and stomp these boys out, please. And this is a Kellen Moore game. I ain't gonna lie. I don't hate him on him like y'all do, but this is a game that he must call a good play. He must call a good played game, because if he doesn't, this can cost the Cowboys. This will be, to me, on a Kellen Moore, in my opinion, because how dangerous this team is. And he must not get into that, let me prove something mode, because it could cost the Cowboys. Run the ball on these guys, run it down their throats. You can play action them, beat them that way. Cowboys can come with the victory. So to me, my final word is, my eye is on you, Kellen Moore. It hasn't been on you like everybody else, but this game, my eye is on Kellen Moore in particular. That's my final word.
Thank God. Amen.
Hey, I love being a Cowboy.
Big game James.
Game changer.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
Let's jump Kellen Moore, bro. Let's jump him, bro.
Jags are sneaky, man. Like Big Game James said, they got life. They're second place, and they're looking at the Titans, saying that they can beat the Titans. They looking at them, and they want to win out. Every game is a playoff game for them. They got some sneaky good guys that we all had high on our draft board. Remember Andre Cisco? He's there. He's winning number 5. Yes, indeed. You love him, didn't you? You know.
I loved him. Yeah.
So he got range, speed.
Boss called him right.
Yes, indeed. And then they got Trayvon Walker, Georgia boy. You know what I'm saying? And they got Josh Allen, who's balling. You know what I'm saying? Arden Key. So Devin Lloyd. So they got guys. You know, they got some guys that's young. It's still a young team. And I can tell you guys, don't sleep on the young team. They only won 1 game this year, and I think it was against the Texans. You know, no, they lost to the Texans, but the Texans only won 1 game, and it was against the Jags. So, but they only allowed 13 points on them. So those are things that you got to consider. And the Jaguars, I believe, is a team that you have to pay attention to because they are scrappy. But the Cowboys got to get out of their feelings and understand that those boys on the Jaguars side, they got a Christian Kirk. They got a Jay Zone and all of those other boys that can take the top. They got it off the defense. And they got Travis that can run the ball. And if anybody can replicate what Jeff Driscoll did, is Trevor Law, right? You know, he's Jeff Driscoll with a better arm, right? So the Cowboys just got to be prepared. I think we can be victorious if we stick to the philosophy and the formula. Run the ball, run to open up the pass. Do those things, and especially since you got Josh Ball on our side, run the ball. You know, if that's what he's good at, then you run the ball, because we know the political warfare of football is amongst us, and they're going to play musical chairs with this, and I already think in the mind that they're going to use Jason Peters on passing, and they're going to use Josh Ball on running. I know how the Cowboys operate and think. We know how this goes, and there should be a game that Tyron Smith get that one little booger bat out of him so he can be ready for the following week against those Eagles. So let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's get this victory. But we got to stick to our principle and our philosophy and formula. That's been my time. I thank y'all for yours.
That was the final word, and I just realized we hit 5K. We just hit 5K. So we appreciate y'all, man. That was the final word.
5K,
Listen,
y'all put 5K in the chat, man. I need to see 5K in the chat.
This is the best way to do it, on the final word. We hit 5K on the final word. I'm cool with that. I'd rather do it with my homies.
Yes, indeed. Al Correa says Jason Peters is starting. They said they're going to rotate that one from Jerry Jones' mouth. To all years. Let's go, 5K the chat, baby.
5K. Now I gotta
5K,
get like
baby.
up to 100. Now my next goal is 100,000. Let's get it.
You'll be there by tomorrow. Keep grinding.
Let's get it, bro. Let's keep grinding, bro. It's all about the grind. We love this. Let's get it, man. Final word.
Y'all the best, man. I appreciate y'all, man. OC, Big Game James, Boss Cowboys Sports,
I appreciate that, big dog. Y'all the best. Hey, and I love it. I look forward to Tuesday. It's my favorite day. I ain't even lying.
Man, they get mad when we don't go live now on Tuesday. They be mad.
I get texts. Yeah, man.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's a good show, man. Good chemistry. Good knowledge. Honest commentary and real debates. Nothing fake.
I've been really in the field.
Run it up.